Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Nurse Love Syndrome 2. Okay, let's see. Mic check. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. Oh, it's happening again. I'm having that dream again. Ah! It really hurts. It really hurts. I hurt all over, and I'm burning up. I can't breathe. My chest is killing me. I hear a voice. Someone's talking somewhere. Who are you? Who are you? Who's she? Who? Who are you? Who are you and why do you know me? Who are you two? And is it just me or does it feel nice and soft here? I can't feel the pain that plagued me a while ago. Can I just stay like this? Right then, my consciousness fades. There's no one here anymore. I can't hear anything. It's cold here. Pain. Pain runs through my entire body. I look around me. I'm in my room. And I had that dream again. Is it a dream of that car accident? I don't remember what happened too well, but my cells might. Maybe that's why I keep having this dream. My pajamas are drenched in sweat, but I have to wonder. Who are those voices that keep appearing in my dreams? They're a woman's voice and a girl's voice, and they feel strangely familiar. Just who are they? After getting to a good place in my morning reports, I take a look at the clock. Miss Sakai really rails into me if I mess up, so I'm very meticulous about adjusting her drip speed, and I always aim to change her bottle myself on time, so I haven't been late or early that much lately. And thanks to that, I think she spat less venom at me with regards to her IV. She's just as mean about everything else, though. Doesn't she get tired out for being mean all the time? She seems to hate me, but why does she have it out for me so much? We were just in the same nursing school. What did I do to deserve this? Did I do something to her while we were in school, and I just don't remember? I mean, I'd feel bad if I had, but she could at least say something if that were the case. But if I'm the reason she's so spiky, then I want to figure out what I've done and apologize. How could I get closer to her? I rack my brains about it, but can't come up with any good ideas. Besides, it's not like she's gonna listen to me.
沢井さん、そろそろ酒井さんの点滴交換の時間じゃないかしら。
はい、
行きます。
I guess I have no choice but to get ready for a long fight.
はい、どうぞ。
That voice wasn't Miss Sakai, right?
失礼します。アミちゃん？ああ、かおりんさんだ。こんにちは。あ、こんにちは。
Ami's in Miss Sakai's room. And Miss Sakai, of course, is as stone-faced as usual. This is quite the strange combination.
じゃあ点滴を交換しますね。
I take a look at the two while I change the IV bottle. Ami's smiling as usual, and Miss Sakai has her signature frown. I can't see what they have in common.
アミちゃんと酒井さんはお友達なの？そうなんです。お友達なんです。え？
Why is Miss Sakai surprised to hear that? Ami, however, doesn't seem pleased with that reaction.
お友達だよね、私たち。たまたまお手洗いで何度か一緒になっただけでしょ。袖すり合うも多少の縁って言うでしょ。鏡を占拠しているあなたにそこをどいてと言っただけじゃない。私たちが同じ病院の同じ病棟に同じ時期に入院しているのはきっと縁があるからだよ。ね。
Miss Sakai looks at me with baffled eyes. I have the feeling I kind of know what she wants to say.
ねえねえ、かおりんさん、さゆりんの腕がかわいそうなの。さゆりん？
Miss Sakai sounds completely taken aback.
この前も思ったけど、そのさゆりんって何なの？え？酒井さゆりだからさゆりん。なんか変かな？変っていうか、その。
Oh, she's got no idea how to deal with this.
変じゃないならいいよね。ね、さゆりん。
Wow, who knew Miss Sakai could make an age-appropriate expression? I desperately hold back the belly laugh building up. If I let my laughter slip, that would just put Miss Sakai in a mood far worse than I've seen before.
ねえねえ、かおりんさん、あれ
Ami's expression changes rapidly.
どうしたの、アミちゃん。かおりんさんとさゆりんの名前、なんだか似てるね。
With the rings, you mean?
そうかな。そうだよ。沢井かおり、酒井さゆり。ほら、似てる。
In that. You know, come to think of it, they kind of are.
いいなあ、さゆり。私も似てる名前の人いないかな。別にそんなにいいものじゃないし、全然嬉しくないわ。
Point. There's no way she'd like having a name close to someone she hates like me.
さゆり、こういうのはね、いい悪いじゃないんだよ。運命なんだよ。
Fate? Our names are just slightly similar. Why bring fate into this?
大げさじゃないよ。あ、大げさといえば。
Ami's expressions change so rapidly. And her topics change just as quickly, too. You just can't get tired of watching her.
ねえねえ、かおりんさん、さゆりんの腕かわいそうだよ。直してあげて。
I don't think she'll let me touch her. Miss Sakai looks away when Ami says that and quickly hides her arm. Her arm shows signs of internal bleeding and looks terribly painful. And it's not just her arm. Reddish black spots are all over her, even if you can't see them. Her legs, her stomach, everywhere. And what's worse, the spot Ami pointed out is where I messed up ejecting her IV needle.
さゆりんはね、痛くないって言うけど、見ててすごく痛そうなの。すごく痛そうだよね。仕方がないじゃない。そういう病気なんだから。そうなの？
Ami, pick up on the hints, please.
看護師さん、この子に私の病気を説明してあげて。でも。
But that's sensitive personal information.
患者本人がいいと言ってるんだから、どうぞ説明して差し上げてください。それとも疾患を理解してなくて説明できないんですか？
Humph. I can at least explain it. I've been doing my studying.
アミちゃん、酒井さんの病気はね、再生不良性貧血っていう病気なの。再生不良性貧血？そう、血液の中には酸素を運ぶ赤血球とかばい菌と戦う白血球、血を止める血小板とかいろいろあるっていうのは知ってる？
Platelets that stop bleeding.
その辺は理科で習ったような気がします。本当はあんまり覚えてないんですけどね。
She doesn't remember.
酒井さんの病気はその赤血球や白血球、血小板などが作られにくくなる病気なの。赤血球が減るから貧血になって息切れするし、白血球が減るから風邪をひきやすくなるし、血小板が減るから血が止まらなくなるの。
Having fewer white blood cells means she catches more colds, and with fewer platelets, she has a much harder time stopping bleeding.
酒井さんの腕の内出血は血小板が減ったから血が止まりにくくなったその結果なんだよ。そうなんだ。
There's a lot more to talk about, but I guess this is as good an explanation as you can give a high school student, right?
そういうわけで私は個室に隔離されているの。もっとも他の患者と付き合うのが面倒だからっていうのもあるのだけど。
Whoa, that makes it sound like dealing with Ami's a pain.
そうなんだ。
Ami, however, is strong. She walks up to the bed and holds Miss Sakai's hand tight.
私、さゆりんが寂しくないようになるべくここに来るようにするね。は？
Miss Sakai's eyes go wide. I'm a little surprised, too.
私はさゆりんの友達だからね。
It looks like her mean statement had no effect on Ami. She looks at me with a baffled face once again, as if she's looking to me for help.
アミちゃん、あんまりおしゃべりすると酒井さんは疲れちゃうからね。
And Miss Sakai really does look very tired, so I'm not lying, right? And Ami's got nephrotic syndrome, so she needs to rest up too.
そうか、残念だけどまたね。はい。
With her usual beaming smile, Ami waves to Miss Sakai as she leaves the room.
あの子、いつもあんな感じなんですか？
Oh no, she looks completely beat.
悪い子じゃないんだけどね。悪気がないのはわかるけど、悪気がなければ何をしてもいいということにはなりません。
Exhaustion on her face, Miss Sakai slowly lays on her side in bed.
少し眠ります。なんだかとても疲れました。おやすみなさい。
I set up her IV and quietly leave the room, not wanting to disturb her rest. But I have to say, Ami and Miss Sakai,
変な組み合わせ。お疲れ。
I'm eating lunch in the break room with Senpai when Yamanouchi comes in.
二人とも自炊？えらいな。あ、よっこいしょっと。
She sits down on the sofa and pulls 2 store-bought rice balls out of her bag and plops them on the table.
お昼それだけですか？
When I ask in surprise, Yamanouchi laughs in response.
そこのコンビニおにぎり100円セールやってるから今なら自炊より安いねんで。でもそれじゃあ栄養が偏っちゃいませんか？大丈夫、ちゃんと計算してサプリも飲んどるから。サプリだけじゃダメですよ。サプリ万能主義はやめた方がいいと思います。藤沢は真面目やね。コンビニおにぎりもそれなりに栄養価はあるんよ。そんなのビビたるものじゃないですか。こっちは具がうなぎ。うなぎにはビタミン B1 が豊富に含まれてて美容にもいいんやで。
Yamanouchi's grinning away, but Senpai sighs at her. You can't really call a meal of rice balls alone balanced. And what's worse, it doesn't have nearly enough calories.
私も渚先輩の意見に同意です。まあ大丈夫やって。うちには心優しい同僚がおるもんな。ほら、ここに2人も。
Ah, her eyes are squarely on our lunches.
あげませんからね。なんと冷たい。はあ、この冷たさにうちは打ちのめされそうやわ。
As if shocked, Yamanouchi collapses onto the sofa. She's definitely acting.
なんて冷たい同僚どもめ。うちがこんなにもひもじがってるっちゅうのにショックが大きすぎや立ち直れへん。嘘泣きしてもダメです。お金がないわけじゃないのにケチってる山之内さんの自業自得です。な、ケチの一言で片付けんな。うちのは主戦道っちゅう立派な哲学や。あ、主戦道？主戦道じゃなくて？よくぞ聞いてくれました。うちの尊敬する某キャラクターも同じ教えを崇拝しとるんや。ケチと呼ばれる主戦道とは違うんや。あくまでも主戦道。おぜぜを守るという教えを特道なんや。
Yamanouchi's eyes are sparkling as she speaks. And since she's gone this deep, we can't just ignore her. I exchange a look with Senpai and let out a quiet sigh.
塵も積もればって言うやろ。100円200円でも節約して貯めると気づけば大きな資産になっていく。
Big pile of cash.
なったらいいな。
An uncomfortable silence. Senpai lets out a loud sigh.
つまり自分のお金を節約するために山之内さんより安い給料で働いている後輩や初任給で給料の安い新人のおかずを取り上げると。いやん、藤沢さんたらあからさま。心優しい同僚がうちの心情を理解して快く協力してくれたら幸せやなみたいな。まったくもうちょっとだけですよ。
At the end of the day, Senpai's very kind. She puts a rolled egg and a piece of salted salmon onto her lunchbox lid and hands it to Yamanouchi.
わお、さすが藤沢。気前が良くて男前。素敵、大抵。
In quite the good mood, Yamanouchi looks at me next. She's looking at me with incredibly expectant eyes. That means I have to do something, right? I take a look inside my lunchbox. What do I have that wouldn't be the same as what Senpai gave her? All I have are my fried chicken and hamburger steak. And I love them both. What am I gonna do?
沢井のお弁当も美味しそうやね。もうそうやって新人にたからない。沢井の分もあげたつもりなんですから。いやいや、独り言や独り言、気にすんなって。
Still, Yamanochi has eager eyes on my lunchbox. I don't have a choice, do I?
どうぞ。
I put a single piece of fried chicken on Senpai's lunchbox lid. Goodbye, beloved chicken.
おおきにおおきに。いやー、ここは優しい同僚がたくさんいて、山之内さん、めっさ感謝感激雨あられー。
Yamanochi happily pulls up one of the treats and eats it with a rice ball.
二人とも料理上手やね。立派なお馬さんになれるで。
Yamanochi's cheeks are full of our food. I'd be totally justified in getting angry at her over this, but for some reason I just can't hold anything against Yamanochi. And it looks like Senpai feels the same way.
もう山之内さんも叶いません。あ、もう一個なんかくれる？これ以上は何もあげません。ケチ。何か聞こえましたか？冗談冗談。あ、お礼にこれあげるわ。
Yamanochi pulls 2 slips of paper from her pocket. They both say free cake on them.
あ、いいんですか？こっちの方がおかずより高いかもなのに。うん、ええよ。駅前で配ってたんやけど、しばらく金倉に行くことないしな。
I peer at Senpai's hands to see the name of a cafe near Kanakura Station printed on the tickets. It looks like they're discount tickets for that cafe.
ああ、ここ行ってみたかったんです。ケーキが美味しいって評判だし、紅茶もすっごく美味しいらしいですよ。へえ、そうなんだ。渚先輩、今度のお休みに一緒に行きましょうよ。ついでにお買い物とかして。そうね、久しぶりに美味しいケーキ食べたいかも。じゃあ決まり。山之内さん、ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。いやー、こちらこそ私の分まで楽しんできてね。次のお休みか。何着ようかな。もう沢行ったら。で、君ら夢見んのもええけど、そろそろ休憩時間終わりとちゃうの？いやー、休憩時間オーバーしちゃうとまた主任さんに怒られちゃう。
She's right. I shoveled the rest of my lunch into my mouth. So, my next day off will be shopping with Senpai. I can't wait. Ah, my reports are finally done.
お疲れ沢井。もう帰れるの？
Senpai cheerfully asked me that. She's about to go into the night shift.
はい、やっと記録上がりました。すみません、記録いつも夜勤帯にまで食い込んじゃって。気にしない気にしない。そんなの私だって同じじゃない。いつも夜勤さんに迷惑かけてるもん。こういうことはお互い様だからね。そういうことは気にせずに、沢井は自分の仕事をちゃんとすればいいのよ。
She pats my shoulder. Her telling me that we were even totally relieves me.
もし記録に抜けとかあったら遠慮なくチェック入れてくださいね。もちろん。私は沢井のプリセプだもんね。付箋貼りまくっちゃう。ここ記述が足りませんって。明日の朝が怖い。
We exchange looks and grin at each other.
そこ、夜勤さんは仕事に戻る。
日勤さんは仕事が終わったらさっさと帰る。わかった？はーい、仕事に戻ります。はい、じゃあ私は帰ります。お疲れ様でした。渚先輩、また明日。
Work's been pretty fun lately. Miss Sakai is still as much of a handful as ever, and I do get yelled at for the small mistakes I make. Still, nursing really feels like work with doing, so I've started to find it fun lately. I've only been a nurse for a month and a half, but if this is what a month and a half gets me, I might feel like things are even more worthwhile in a year or two. Senpai and Yamanochi seem to be having a lot of fun too. And I bet the part-time and temp nurses would have quit long ago if it wasn't a fun job. That fun on the job has to keep everyone going. Someone hugs me tight from behind.
山之内さん？メールしたのになしのつぶてやし、あんたの部屋の前で待つにもこの姿見られたないし。
A text? I can't check my phone in the hospital.
しゃあないから自販機の陰に隠れて待っとってんや。ちゅうわけでいざ行かん我があばら屋に。はい。俺っちのあばら屋を見に来たんだろ。ついでに手伝ってけや。はい。
I have no idea what she's on about.
だってかおりちゃん手伝ってくれるって言ったじゃない。
That was a long time ago, but if I argue back, she probably wouldn't hear me out. There's just nothing I can do.
ほな行くで。キリキリ歩け。
Someone help.
はい、ここ座って。はい。はい、原稿。はい、これ買った。で、これトーン。
How did I get to this point again? And I'm having some real deja vu, too.
スクリーントーンをこの指定部分に貼って切り抜くだけの簡単なお仕事です。簡単？あ、トーンは安くないからなるべく無駄にしないように。
Now there's no way I'm getting out of this.
今日は夜食もおやつも十分に用意した。腹減ったら適当に食え。あとほれ、ギガミン S も1ダース。
I really can't get out of this. All I can do is accept it, get to work, and finish it as quickly as I can.
わかりました。頑張ります。よろしゅう。
I quietly get to applying tone. My eyes spin with all the points I have to put tone on. The materials it's made of are hard to cut, and sometimes when I think I've cut it, it's just peeled off awkwardly. Someone help! The tone's after me! It's all over me and I can't move!
沢井
Don't know.
疲れとったんやね。悪いな、手伝わせて。
I was asleep.
ほれ、もう少しやで。ギガミン S なんで頑張れ。もう帰りたい。このトーン貼り終わったら帰らしたるから、それまで頑張れ。朝になっちゃった。沢井、お疲れ。あんたのおかげで無事に入校できそうやわ。もうチューしちゃう。
Don't touch me.
チューは いりません。睡眠時間をください。
I accidentally went over your text, but I don't care.
ただいまの時間5時過ぎ。喜べ騒い。少しなら寝れる。熟睡したいです。
I stagger up as I mumble.
じゃあ帰ります。おう、日勤頑張れ。
I think I'll have her make me help her out on nights before my days off. Working with her through the night after a day shift, then going into another day shift is a little... No, it's pretty awful. I wonder if I'll be able to sleep for an hour. I thought I read Yamanochi's comic while I helped her, but I was too focused on my work too. Next time, next time. Next time. She would read, whatever. So sleepy. Can't keep my eyes open.
大丈夫？沢井。夜勤明けの私よりひどい顔してるよ。はい、大丈夫。頑張ります。
I try shaking my head dismissively. My spine creaks and my muscles tense up in protest. Someone get me a bed.
おはようございます。皆さん集まったようだし、申し送りを始めます。そこの大あくびをしている人、やる気がないなら出て行きなさい。すみません。
Jeez, I got another scolding. Everything's falling apart because I was up until morning helping Yamanochi with her drafts. Don't laugh at me, you... I stare murderously at Yamanochi. She returns a cheeky wink. She'll be the death of me.
Yeah, 朝まで付き合わせて悪かったな、沢井。そうですよ。おかげで主任さんにバッチリ叱られちゃったじゃないですか。まあその話は後や。今はお仕事の時間ですよ。
Work, 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 work.
もうごまかされませんからね。
An argument breaks out behind me.
だからタバコ買ってきてくれって言ってるだけだろ。
ですからそういう仕様を言いつけられても困ります。
I don't think you're allowed to smoke in hospitals anyway. A nursing assistant clutching a soiled diaper and Mr. Goren glare at each other. Yamanochi hands a pair of unused rubber gloves to me and casually wedges herself between the bristling pair.
どないしたん？
What in tarnation?
五輪さんがタバコを買ってきてくれって。
俺これから検査だからさ、その間に買ってきてくれるくらいいいだろ。検査終わったらすぐ吸いたいんだよ。
ですから私たちはおむつ交換があるんです。
Oh no, it looks like they're ready for round 2.
まあまあ落ち着きなはれや。お姉さんは仕事に戻ってもらってええですね。
The nursing assistant breathes a sigh of relief and scurries into room 303.
五輪さん、これから検査でしたっけね。
そうだよ。検査があるからその間タバコは買えないし吸えないだろ。だから検査終わってすぐ吸えるように買ってきてもらおうと思ってお願いしたんだよ。
ほな、タバコ買い要員の人材、あんたが自費で雇いなはれや。
は？
Whoa, Yamanochi's going full meltdown on a patient.
たかがタバコ買いに行く時間かて、うちらにとっては勤務時間。雇用契約を結んでからにしはったらいかがですか？
そんな、 5分も10分もかからないじゃないか。
うちらの給料知ってます？病院はうちらに給料を支払っていろいろな仕事させてるんです。うちらは患者さんの治療のためにいてるんであって、患者さんの使用を言いつかるためにいてるんやないんです。使用を言いつけたんやったら別途そういう人を雇うてください。もしくは病院にこの人を借りますから、その時間分の給料を代わりに支払いますって申しててくださいな。しかもタバコで健康を増進させるものを交わすんやったらともかく特にしかならへんタバコで。
わかったよ、もういいよ。タバコは検査の後に自分で買いに行くよ。
あらら、おおきに分かってもろて嬉しいです。
Mr. Godin stomps back to his room. That was incredible. I couldn't outwit Mr. Godin like that.
わがままな患者に甘い顔したらあかんねん。最初は好意でやってあげたことやのに、それが当たり前になってしまう。よう覚えとき。
I need to live by the lessons Yamanouchi's on the job training provides. I'm so sleepy. How could I work a day shift after an all-nighter? It's impossible. I'm so sleepy that I just went to the bathroom to perk myself up with a face wash. I feel a little better, but give me a break, Yamanouchi.
はい、どうぞ。お姉ちゃんはたくさん食べるのね。
Huh?
そうよ。たくさん食べて早く元気になるの。
I can hear a voice coming from room 306. Peeking inside, I find Ami, Kahaku, and for some reason Yamanouchi playing house. No other kids are there.
それはいいことだわ。たくさん食べてね。はい、お兄ちゃんも。
俺は大盛りでな。
Yamanouchi's playing the brother.
もう、お兄ちゃんは大食いさんなのね。
俺も早く元気にならなきゃな。母さんや姉さんに苦労かけてたくさん食べて俺が稼いできたるからな。
お兄ちゃん、そんなの気にしなくてもいいのに。
Wait a second. Who's supposed to be older, Ami or Yamanouchi?
そうよ。お姉ちゃんもお兄ちゃんもたくさん食べて早く元気になってね。私、退院したら花嫁修行するんだ。お嫁さん、いいなあ。
フラグ？
お母さんは退院したらどうするの？退院か。何しようかな。
お友達といっぱい遊べばいいと思うよ。
うわ、お姉ちゃん、虫さんが。ああ、せっかくお父さんに買ってもらった虫のスリッパの目が取れてる。
Is that what you're wearing?
それぐらいやったらこのお兄ちゃんがマジックで目描いたろ。
ダメ、マジックなんかじゃなくてちゃんとした目を探してあげて。女の子だからって甘く見たら痛い目見るんだから。
For once, Yamanouchi has nothing to say back.
珍しいわね、あの山之内さんが押され気味なんて。
I turn around and see Nagisa behind me. Meanwhile, Yamanouchi plays the big brother and looks around the floor of the hospital room for the missing eye.
あった。ほら、もうなくさへんようにするんやで。
お兄ちゃん、手術してあげて。お兄ちゃんは優秀なお医者さんなんでしょ？
They added another thing to the story.
しかしそれは難しい手術だ。この俺でも成功する確率は低い。
お願いします。目が見えないなんて虫さんがかわいそう。
仕方がない。こんなこともあろうかと。
Yamanochi reaches into her pocket and takes out some adhesive bond. Yet, despite her efforts, the Ida Ami slipper just won't seem to stay on.
これは俺の手には負えない。メディックメディックメディック。
Medic.
戻るわよ、サバイ。もうちょっと見ていきませんか？
Things are just getting good.
なんだか私疲れちゃった。ほら、行くわよ。
Ending to the playhouse in room 306 stays in the back of my mind as Nagisa drags me back to the nurse's office.
疲れた。
お疲れ様です。
I can barely hold back my laughter when I think about how she was playing the big brother. My voice falters a little because I'm trying so hard not to laugh.
ところで、アミちゃんのスリッパは治ったんですか？
この白状者どもめ。最終的に裁縫セットで無理くり直したわ。
Wait, did Yamanochi know we were standing by watching that whole time?
でも、山之内さんも優しいとこあるんですね。子供たちと遊んであげるなんて。
おままごとは大人数のがええからな。アミちゃん一人やったら何役もせなならんから大変やろ。
Right, so that's why Yamanochi was playing with her.
もうすぐ琥珀ちゃんも退院ですからね。ああして年上の子が退院したらってのをさりげなく伝えてくれると私たちも助かりますよね。
ま、そういうこっちゃ。それを入院中の子供の年長さんだけに丸投げするんは白状やろ。
I see, so that's what she meant. That's deep.
白衣性恋愛症候群リセラピー。
サバイ、今日306号室エントあるよね。準備できた？
I don't know what ent means. Is that a patient? I nodded in response. I've already picked up that ent is short for the German word for hospital discharge. Okay.
琥珀ちゃんですね。もうエント処方も上がってきてます。昼食後、ご両親がお迎えに来るんですって。そっか。キキョウちゃんもコムヤも退院して騒がしい子供部屋もずいぶん静かになったよね。みんなまた寂しがるだろうね。ですね。
All the kids in room 306 really got along well, and they always played together. The room's seen a lot of discharges lately, though, and the 6-kid room now only has 4 in it. And today, another one's leaving the hospital. A hospital discharge is something to be celebrated, but still, I'm a little worried that she'll eat a little less of her dinner again. I pull Kahaku's medical record onto the desk and do my final check, making sure her x-ray scans and cardiographs are in there. When the patient is discharged from the hospital, we return these to the x-ray room in the minister's office. I take a glance at the clock. Noon's just about done.
渚先輩、306号室行ってきます。オッケー。退院指導の最終確認もよろしくね。はーい。看護婦のお姉ちゃん。
Right when I enter the room, Kahaku greets me, full of energy. She must be really happy that her parents are here because her smile's a lot brighter than usual.
琥珀ちゃん、退院おめでとう。ありがとう。
I politely bowed to Kohaku's parents in greeting and put her papers on the on-bed table.
一昨日と昨日もお話ししたんだけど、退院してからのこと最後に一応確認しておくね。
退院してからのこと？
そうだよ。琥珀ちゃんの病気は完全に治る病気じゃないから、お家に帰っても注意しなくちゃいけないことがいくつかあるの。それ覚えてるかな？
Kohaku has type 1 diabetes, so she'll have to take care of herself outside by regulating what she eats, taking insulin shots, and more. Her parents have been briefed on what's required, of course, but Kohaku's understanding is critical going forward. I can't skimp out on teaching her just because she's a child. Kohaku looks up and puts up her fingers as she thinks.
ご飯は決められたものを食べること、決められたもの以外を食べちゃいけないこと、あと風邪をひかないこと。
そう。あと学校でもやってほしいことがあるんだけど、それも聞いてるかな？
聞いたよ。血糖値を測ることとか、お注射を自分で打つこととか。
そうそう。やり方はちゃんと覚えてる
Kohaku smiles happily and nods. It's a lot of stuff that's hard for a little kid to do, but if she doesn't really try to keep up with her self-care, she'll end up in a much worse place. Because of that, I have to harden my heart and make sure she understands.
でも学校にキャンデーを持って行って本当にいいの？
No.
ちゃんと学校にも連絡してるから。でも見せびらかしたりしちゃダメだよ。他の子と喧嘩になっちゃうからね。
わかってる。お注射は保健室でするんだよね。
そうそう。お注射はもう自分でできるだろうけど、小学校の間は保健の先生に見てもらってね。
Elementary school, okay? When she nods, she pulls out a stapled booklet from the pile of the documents I've brought.
ねえねえ、この漫画お姉ちゃんが描いたの？糖尿病の心得。
Kohaku reads the title aloud.
もしかしてこれ私の顔だよね？
She points at a drawing of a girl that looks very similar to her.
よくわかったね。これは琥珀ちゃんだよ。
すごい。私が漫画になってる。
Her parents watch her with smiles as she cheers.
それは漫画がすごく上手な看護師のお姉ちゃんが琥珀ちゃんのために描いてくれた漫画なの。私もちょっと手伝ったんだよ。
嬉しいな。
Yamanouchi's character art is phenomenal, and the manga with Kohaku as its protagonist was interesting to read by itself. I helped out, of course, and I'm really glad to see that she likes it a lot more than we expected.
詳しいことはこの漫画に書いてあるから、お家でもきちんと読んでおいてね。
When Kohaku replies energetically, she plops down out of bed.
ねえねえアミちゃん、これ見て。
Kohaku runs up to Ami's bed and happily shows off her comic.
すごいね。マクちゃんが漫画になってるね。しかも主人公だね。
She lets out a bashful laugh, and Ami watches over her with a smile.
琥珀、そろそろ帰りましょう。じゃあ病室のみんなにさよなら言って。お世話になりましたって。
さよなら。
Kohaku tilts her head, and then suddenly Kohaku tilts her head, and then suddenly large tears begin to stream down her face.
琥珀ちゃん？私みんなとお別れするの嫌だ。
She starts to bawl and clings to Ami.
琥珀ちゃん。アミちゃんやみんなと一
understand how Kohaku feels. They're her battle buddies. They all fought their illnesses together. They supported each other, encouraged each other, and cried and laughed together. It's great to leave the hospital, but anyone would miss leaving their friends behind.
琥珀ちゃん、退院しても時々はここに遊びに来て。定期検診の時とかね。
Ami's eyes are filled with tears as she comforts Kohaku.
そしたら琥珀ちゃんに会えるし、その時はまた一緒に遊べるよ。ナースさんたちもみんなここで働いてるから、琥珀ちゃんが来たくなったらここでまた会えるよ。
琥珀ばっかで
Hiro is looking away on his bed.
退院するのに泣くなんてばっかじゃね。退院は嬉しいことなんだぞ。
ヒロくん、
もう戻ってくんなよな。
Kohaku looks like she's about to cry again.
バカ、会いたくないって言ってんじゃないんだからな。もう入院すんなって意味だぞ。誤解すんな。退院したら遊びに来いよな。
The second he says that, Hiro buries under his covers. Oh, Hiro's gonna miss her, huh?
ヒロくん、ありがとう。みんな琥珀ちゃんがいなくなると寂しいけど、琥珀ちゃんの退院はすごく喜んでいるんだよ。だから元気でね。
じゃあ行きましょう。皆さんお世話になりました。
Holding her parents' hands, Kaku leaves the children's room.
元気でね。お姉ちゃんもまたね。
Looking up with her teary face and smiling, Kaku waves me goodbye. Hiro stays buried under his covers, but the other kids go out into the hall and wave back at Kaku, looking sad as they do. Kaku's parents lightly nod to me and walk out of sight, pulling along their beloved daughter.
寂しいけど退院できてよかったんですよね、琥珀ちゃん。
喜ぶべきことだよ。ここのみんなもこうやっていつか元気になって退院していくんだよ。
そうですね。
The children's room feels a little bit lonelier than before, but seeing kids leave healthy has to be encouraging to the others.
さーて、みんなお昼ご飯いっぱい食べたかな。看護師のお姉ちゃんに食事量教えてね。
Not wanting the sadness to take over, I put extra pep into my voice.
白恋でなんか甘いもん食べたいな。
Yamanochi looks up from her reports all of a sudden and whispers that.
けどな、ダイエット中やしな。山之内さん、ダイエットしてるんですか？当たり前や。うちは乙女やもん。万年ダイエッターでない乙女はエセ乙女やね。
Should I make fun of her for using the word debut today, confess to being a fake debut today, or just ignore it all? While I'm mulling over my options, Yamanochi brings the conversation to us.
あんたらはダイエットしとらんの？私は特には。
Yamanochi lets out a big dramatic shrug of her shoulders when she hears that.
うわ、エセ乙女がおるわ。常時ダイエットくらい常識やろ。ダイエットは乙女の重要な共通話題の一つやねんで。
Critical conversation topic among debutants. Debutante. Oh god damn. Debutant. Like I said it earlier.
乙女って山之内さん年いくつですか？
Debutantes. Debutantes. Senpai came out swimming in my stead. Yamanouchi, however, just ignores Senpai's exasperated question and shoots me a look.
沢井は？
With her inquiring eyes on me, I look down.
私はダイエットしてましたけど失敗ばかりで。
ほうほう、沢井もダイエッターか。どんなダイエットしたん？
炭水化物を抜いたりとか、リンゴだけをひたすら食べるとか、朝にバナナっていうのもやりました。
そら失敗もするやろ。典型的な失敗ダイエットやな。
そうなんですか？
単品ダイエットとか何かを抜くダイエットってのは百害あって一理なし。
I find myself overwhelmed by Yamanouchi's enthusiasm.
そうなんですか。
そういうダイエットはな、一時的には体重が落ちる。しかしリバウンドする確率は 100%。 実際リバウンドしたんやろ？
そうなんです。私ダイエットのたびに体重が増えちゃうんです。
When I lean over enthusiastically, Yamanouchi nods.
沢井も看護師なんやから、学生時代の講義とか思い出してみ。ダイエットの基礎理論は栄養学や生理学の応用やで。例えば食事を軽く抜くと体重が落ちる。なんでや？
消費カロリーに比べ摂取カロリーが下回ったから？
そう、ダイエットの基本は消費カロリーと摂取カロリーのバランスと思うやろ。しかしそこに落とし穴がある。摂取カロリーを落とすと体は省エネモードに切り替わる。省エネモードになると消費カロリーが落ちる。つまり基礎代謝が落ちるっちゅうわけや。基礎代謝が落ちるっちゅうことは全身の筋肉が痩せ衰えてただけやねん。基礎代謝が落ちたそんな中、ダイエット終了って空量を戻すと、
消費カロリーに比べて摂取カロリーが一気に。
せやねん、運動せなあかんよって言われるんは栄養消費の場である筋肉量を減少させへんためや。沢井、三大栄養素って覚えとるか？
They don't immediately come to mind. I look at Senpai with pleading eyes, and she folds with a sigh.
糖質である炭水化物、タンパク質、脂質である脂肪。そう、タンパク質は人体の細胞を構成するもの。これが減ると筋肉が一気に減る。つまり基礎代謝が下がる。糖質は、これは筋肉や脳みそのエネルギー源や。これを減らすと一気に動けんくなるし、判断力も鈍る。じゃあ脂質はというと、実はこれを減らしてもすぐにどうこうなるっちゅうわけやない。それに痩せたいイコール体についた脂肪を落としたいわけやろ。ほなら摂取する脂肪を減らせば痩せられる。
そうなんですか？
Yamanouchi grinned.
その考えはバタークリームケーキに蜂蜜とチョコレートシロップかけたものよりももっともっと甘い。胸焼けしそう。人体についた脂肪はほとんどは消費しきれんと余った糖質が姿を変えたものや。
なんですって？
糖質は
はその性質上速やかに消費されやすい構造をしとる。しかし蓄えるには適さへん構造やね。よって蓄えるためだけに糖質を贅肉にして体は貯蓄した。それが脂肪。
そうだったのか。
よって油抜き系のダイエットはめっさまと外れやね。お肌カッサカサ、関節ぎっしぎしになるだけ。
I had no idea.
炭水化物を減らしてもダメ、タンパク質を減らしてもダメ、脂肪を減らすのは無駄。
ばっかみたい。最初からダイエットなんかしないように節制すればいいのに。
Yeah, of course Senpai would say that. She never gains weight.
極論を言えばそうやね。だから太らんように常にダイエットする。食べ過ぎた翌日はダイエットして調整する。
なるほど。
I take a look at Yamanouchi. She did eat quite a bit when I was helping her with her manuscript. And what's more, she has such an unhealthy lifestyle, pulling all-nighters. But how does she keep up proportions like those?
なんやさい、そんな熱い視線で見られたら照れるかな。
Yamanouchi grins at me.
ま、山之内さんほどのナイスバディなら見とれるのもわからんでもないがな。自分で言う。おやおや、藤沢さん、嫉妬ですか？確かに藤沢さんはお胸が寂しい感じですよね。
Senpai hides her chest with both hands.
あかんな、藤沢。女は見られて綺麗になるんやで。ほれ、堂々と胸を張れ。
Yamanouchi gives Senpai a hearty slap on the back. And then
ちょっと失礼。
Yamanouchi, she actually grabs Senpai's breasts.
なんや、もっと硬いんか思ってたのに、ちゃんと柔らかいやん。
何してるんですか？
何って脂肪のチェック。
Yamanouchi grins as she uncertainly opens and closes her hands. Stop it.
硬い脂肪は流れへんけど、柔らかい脂肪は形を整えるんが可能や。ほら、沢井も触ってみ。
Yamanouchi takes my hand, pulls it in, and I touch Senpai's breast.
柔らかいやろ？
It was pretty soft. It was kind of jiggly. Ami's breasts were soft too, but Senpai's are on a whole different level.
ブラとかつけるときも反対側の脇に手を差し入れてこう持ち上げるようにするんよ。
こうですか？
As Yamanouchi describes, I try holding up my chest with my left hand and stuffing the skin beneath my armpit under the bra with my right hand.
おお、そうそう。沢井は素直やし筋もええな。で、藤沢はやらへんの？
どうせ私はお胸が寂しい感じですよった。
まあまあ、そうすねんと。バストケアは若いうちからやっとった方がええねんで。あんたも美乳になりたいやろ？ぺったんこはそれはそれで味があるけど、うちはやっぱりムチムチバインバインが好きやわ。
山之内さんの好みなんて聞いてません。
うわ、藤沢可愛くない？知った沢井の素直さ見習うんかいな。
Ignoring Senpai and Yamanouchi going at it, this time I try holding up my right breast with my right hand and putting it in with my left.
沢井はマジでええね。2、3年もしたらムチムチバインバインでうち好みの食べ頃のええ女になりそうやわ。
食べ頃？
何か言いました？
何事も実践が一番やねんでって話。
Really?
ブラの付け方一つで10年後の胸の形が変わる。
10年後の胸の形の心配よりも今の仕事の心配をしてほしいものね。
I turn around to see the chief standing there.
いややなしにうちはちゃんと仕事しとるで。さーてお仕事。
Sounding a little too put on, Yamanouchi leaves the nurse's station. The chief then looks at Senpai and I as if she wants to say something, but leaves in silence. We're the only ones left in the nurse's station. There's a tug at my uniform. Senpai asks me a question, red-faced as can be.
沢井、私の胸そんなに柔らかかった？
What am I supposed to say to that? She must have been really embarrassed because Senpai's eyes are tearing up.
渚先輩も触ってみます？
Wait, what am I going on about? However, Senpai smiles bashfully back at me, so there's no way I can take it back.
失礼します。
First, she pokes my breast a bit with her finger, then holds them up from below.
どうですか？
柔らかい。
This is really embarrassing, so neither of us can look each other in the eyes. But since I touched her, we're even now.
もう変なダイエットしちゃダメよ。胸が小さくなっちゃうもんね。
そうですね。
It's the same nurse's station it's always been, but for some reason it feels like a totally different place now.
私、ブラの付け方勉強して沢井に教えてあげるから。だから山之内さんに聞かないでね。
I don't really know what she meant by that, but since she said it with such a serious voice and a red face, I decided to nod.
白恋リセラピー。
皆さん、手を止めて注目してください。
I'm tending to my afternoon work when the chief hurries into the station, seeming tense.
低血糖発作を起こした DM 患者が救急搬送されます。外来の手が足りないため、もしかしたら外来から病棟に直接搬送になるかもしれません。
There's not enough staff free in the outpatient ward, so she may end up carried directly to this ward. The chief looks over at Senpai.
大変だけど、藤沢さん、沢井さんを連れて至急外来へ行ってもらえるかしら。
はい。私もですか？
これも経験です。プリセプターを動かすのだから、プリセプティであるあなたも同行なさい。
はい。
低血糖発作を起こした小児患者、嫌な予感がする。
Senpai's whisper worries me too. I want to ask her about it, but I'm too afraid of her answer, so I can't ask what she means.
沢井、外来での処置はもう終わってるかもしれない。その場合、私たちが何らかの医療行為をすることはないわ。
はい。
We've hurried down the stairs and made it to the first floor.
処置が終わっていなかったとしても、取り乱してはダメよ。
No promises.
はい。
Senpai's words just make me more worried. And then,
すみません。内科病棟の藤沢です。救急搬送の DM 患者をお迎えに来ました。
こっちです。
we run after the outpatient nurse. There was a woman who seemed on the brink of madness in the lobby.
あの子は の子は大丈夫なんですか？
お母さん落ち着いて、今処置中ですから。
I've seen the woman being comforted by the nurse somewhere before.
私が目を離したから私が悪いんです。お願いです。琥珀を助けてください。
Oh no, Kohaku! That's Kohaku's mother. Wait, does that mean the girl carried in by the ambulance was Kohaku?
お母さんはこちらにかけてお待ちください。
あの子は大丈夫なんですか？あの子、あんなにまだ小さいのに、あんなにガクガクと。
中でスタッフが処置しています。お母さんはここで待機してください。
The nurse sounds pretty irritated, and I feel really bad for Kohaku's mother having to deal with that.
内科病棟の藤沢です。お手伝いできることはありませんか？じゃあ中に入ってください。患者のスパズムがきつくて、今はとにかく手が欲しいのよ。
Senpai goes into the emergency room. When I try to go in after her, the nurse who is being called to Kohaku's mother stops me.
そっちの人はお母さんお願い。
That's when I notice that Kohaku's mother at the end of her rope is about to collapse to the ground. I scramble to hold her up and sit her down on a nearby bench. While I take care of her, the other nurses go after Senpai into the ER. When the door closes, Kohaku's mother and myself are the only people left in the waiting room.
お母さん、琥珀ちゃんに何が？
ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。私がちゃんとチェックしなかったから。ごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。
お母さん、
あの子はしっかりした子だからきっと大丈夫だって思って。私どうしたらいいの？
It doesn't seem like Kohaku's mother can see me. She just goes on talking to no one in particular.
私があの子の言うことを鵜呑みにしちゃったから、ちゃんと血糖値を確認するべきだったのに。ごめんなさい、お願い、あの子を連れて行かないで。
Yeah, I don't think you should leave that to a child. She clasps her hands and desperately prays for her daughter and the staff operating on her in the ER. I can't even say anything to make her feel better. I softly hug her trembling shoulders. She keeps on whispering prayers and words of self-blame. How much time has passed since then? Eventually, the ER door opens and the outpatient nurses come out. They roll out Kohaku on a stretcher.
Kohaku!
Jesus. When Kohaku's mother tried to go up to the stretcher, the nurses stop her.
お母さん、ドクターからお話があります。こちらへ。
琥珀はどうなったの？
それを今からドクターが説明しますから。
She seems awfully irritated. Can't she be a little nicer? Does she not know that she's really worried since her daughter collapsed on her?
沢井、琥珀ちゃん連れて病棟に戻ろう。
Senpai looks a little tired. And when I look at Kohaku, her face is pale, her eyes are half open and bloodshot, and drool is dribbling from her open mouth. But she looked so healthy when she left the hospital. She was smiling with such spirit just 2 days ago. How did this happen so quickly?
患者さんを病棟へ上げてください。点滴はこのボトルを時間60でキープで。細かい指示はドクターが病棟へ上がった時に。わかりました。さあ、行くよ、沢井。はい。
After watching Kohaku's mother stagger into the ER supported by nurses, I help Senpai bring the pale-faced Kohaku up to our ward. We put Kohaku in room 301 for starters, and she seems stable, unconscious but stable. Her mother went into a panic in the outpatient ward and collapsed. She's still down there getting an IV. The chief explained what she imagined happened to Kohaku, adding that since she couldn't ask her mother for the details, this was conjecture.
琥珀ちゃん、
退院後は自己血糖測定をほとんどしていなかったらしいの。年の割にしっかりした子だったからご両親も安心してしまって、琥珀ちゃんの行動をチェックしてなかったみたい。昨夜調子が悪そうだったから、お母さんは低血糖かもって思って寝る前にチョコレートを食べさせたらしいの。
This is why you double check everything.
それが朝起きてこなくておかしいって思ったのね。慌てて近所のドクターに往診に来てもらって、ドクターはインスリンで血糖を下げたのだけれど、お母さんは何の薬剤を使ったのか聞かなかった。ダブルでインスリンを使った結果、低血糖発作で痙攣を起こして救急車でここに運び込まれたという状況よ。
私の患者指導が足りなかったんでしょうか。
Senpai's face is as pale as a sheet, and tears have welled up in her eyes.
なんとも言えないわね。あのお母さんは少し楽天的なところがあったし、それがマイナスに働いたのは事実でしょうけれど。しかし結果は結果や。母親の楽天的性格を見越した指導をしていれば、あの子はこんな目に遭わんかったかもしれん。
Senpai dashes out of the nurse's station crying. I try to go after her, but the chief catches my arm. She gently shakes her head at me.
そっとしてあげなさい。それにあなたも顔色が悪いわ。
I can't get the image of Kahaku's face out of my head.
琥珀ちゃんはどうなるんですか。
それは誰にもわからないわ。意識が戻るかもしれないし、戻らないかもしれない。意識が戻ったところで以前と同じ状態に戻れるとは限らない。脳神経障害による後遺症が残るかもしれない。
All the permanent symptoms that follow. When I hear the chief coldly lay out facts without a hint of warmth in her voice, something inside me explodes.
主任さんは平気なんですか。琥珀ちゃんは一昨日まであんなに元気だったのに。
事実は事実よ。それにあなたがここで怒鳴ったところで琥珀ちゃんの意識が戻るものでもないわ。
でも
I nearly burst into tears. How can the chief stay so calm?
落ち着きなさい。看護師が冷静さを欠いてはダメ。一番迷惑を被るのは患者さんなのよ。今私たちにできることは何もないわ。ただ今は彼女の意識が戻るのを祈るだけ。
Her whispers pierce into my chest. Yamanochi is silently looking through the window at the sea outside. I'm sure Senpai's crying tears of regret where no one can see her. And I do all that I can, like the chief said. Pray that Kahaku gets better.
白恋リセラピー。
After being rushed to the hospital last night, Kahaku managed to regain consciousness and is to return to room 306 from today. She seems to have a bit of a cranial nerve damage, so she'll have to stay in bed for a few days, but being around familiar faces like Ami and Hiro is keeping her mental state stable. Senpai seems to have really bounced back from her depression yesterday, and she walks through the ward with a spring in her step. And I am the only one who's still dragging it with me.
沢井さん、ちょっといいかしら。
The chief beckons to me. I wonder if she's gonna yell at me again. I've been spacing out all day today, and I made trouble for Miss Sakai, so I'm sure she's gonna chew me out. I might even get fired.
飲みなさい。
She places a can of milk tea in front of me. I look her in the eyes, but her expression is as neutral as ever. I can't tell what she's thinking.
悪かった。
はい。
あなたを外来へやったのは時期尚早だった。私の判断ミスよ。ごめんなさい。
主任さん。
I'm really confused.
あなたはまだ新人なのに救急搬送でバタついている外来に放り込んでショックを受けないわけがないわよね。
主任さん。
ショックを受けているのでしょう。自分が何の役にも立てなかったと。
That hits hard.
でもそれでいいの。あなたがショックを受けるのは当然だし、あなたが何もできなくてもそれは当たり前なの。
でも私はお母さんの隣に座っているだけでした。渚先輩は治療に入っていたのに琥珀ちゃんに何もしてあげられず、お母さんにも何も言葉をかけられなくて。
Tears suddenly streamed down my face. I couldn't cry yesterday even if I wanted to, so why are the tears coming now? The chief comes over to my side and gently puts her arm around my shoulder.
何かをするだけが看護じゃないの。何もしない看護もあるのよ。
何もしない看護。
そう、何も言わない、何も聞かない、ただ黙ってそばにいるだけ。それだけでも立派な看護になるの。お母さんが反響欄になったのは容易に想像できます。きっとお母さんの視界にあなたの存在はなかった。あなたの声も。でもあなたがいなかったらお母さんは処置の場に乱入してスタッフは混乱した挙句、結果琥珀ちゃんは助からなかったかもしれない。
Might not have made it.
そう考えると誰かがついていなければいけなかった。その役割があなただっただけ。あなたは重要な看護を遂行したの。
本当に本当にそう思いますか。
思ってもいないことは口にしないわ、私は。
The chief chuckles. With a teary smile on my face, I reach out to the milk tea she'd given me.
山之内さんに叱られちゃったわ。私は新人時代の柔らかい心を置き忘れてきているんですって。あとそのジュースは藤沢さんからよ。フォローできなかったこと気にしてるみたい。いい先輩ね。
The tears I'd finally stopped burst back out again. I hide my face with the can. These tears of joy are a little embarrassing.
では私は仕事に戻るわ。あなたはそれを飲み終わるまでならここで休んででもいいわ。その代わり飲んだら必ず顔を洗うこと。そんな顔で患者さんの前に出るなんて許さないわよ。
She says it with her usual strict, cool tone, but I can feel the gentleness hiding behind it. They're so nice. The chief, Yamanouchi, and Senpai too. And me, I can barely keep myself afloat or pay much attention to anything else. I still have a long way to go. And thinking of that is just depressing. I'll thank everyone later, then apologize to Miss Sakai and go check up on Kohaku. Then I'll go at Senpai to teach Kohaku and her mother, specifically her mother, how to control her blood sugar levels. I drink down the milk tea and slowly stand up. Ugh. I have the feeling that lately, when I come back to the station, the nurse call rings.
はいはいと。
What's worse, the call is from room 311, Miss Sakai's room. And I was just there. Is she doing this just to mess with me? But I can't just ignore it.
はい、どうされました？
鼻血が出ました。
A nosebleed?
すぐ行きます。
How do you deal with a nosebleed again?
はい。
酒井さん、鼻血大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫だったらコールなんてしません。
あ、そうだよね。
She's as mean as ever. Yeesh. Wait, what am I going to... blood! Her hands are covered in blood.
血が赤い。
Your blood's red. I panic so greatly that I say something completely obvious.
もしかして看護師のくせに血が苦手なんですか？
どうしよう。血が。
She just let out a really huge sigh on me.
そこのティッシュ3枚ほど取って。
はい。
Miss Sakai holds the tissues I bring her in her bloody right hand and squeezes her nose tight. She holds her bloodied left hand out to me.
拭いてくださいますか？このままだと何も触れませんから。
Oh, she's right. I wipe down her hand with a dry tissue, trying to soak up all the blood I can. Then I wipe it down with a wet tissue to tidy it up. Single rooms sure are handy at times like these. They're small, but they have their own sinks.
反対の手も拭く？
お願いします。
She switches the hand on her nose and holds out her right hand. Huh? She just did it without arguing? Does she not resist after she's asked someone to do something she can't? After I finish wiping her hands down, I look up at her to see that she's holding her face up just a little, holding her nasal root.
もうそろそろ止まった？
Her eyebrows furrow in irritation.
鼻血のケアの方法勉強してないんですか？
Ugh. That look she's giving me. She's definitely mocking me again.
微出血のケア方法は鼻中隔のキーゼルバッハ部位をしっかり圧迫止血。基本でしょ。
Heiselbach's. Oh, come to think of it, I learned this in nursing school. There's plenty of blood vessels in the Heiselbach's plexus and the nasal septum, so a ton of blood gushes out if one of the vessels gets cut just a little bit, I think.
本当は微出血の際はキーゼルバッハ部位を圧迫すると同時に冷却するのだけど、あなたに期待するのは無駄ね。
That was harsh. I mean, it's my fault for not thinking of that. I didn't actually bring anything to cool her off.
あと、血液が鼻の奥から口に流れ込むからあまり上を向きすぎないようにとか、看護師ならそういう指導するのも基本ですよね。
Doesn't flow into the mouth. Ugh. She's right, that is basic.
あと、止まったかなーって圧迫解除するとまた出血してしまうとかも。本来は看護師が指導するものですよね。
It'll just start again.
あなたみたいなダメナースが看護師で、私は一般人でしかないのよね。世の中って不公平だわ。
ごめんね。
Feeling like I can't just stand there, I find myself apologizing.
別に謝られても、私は知識があるから平気だったけど、他の患者さんにはちゃんと対応してあげてください。
She's right. Miss Sakai happened to know what to do, so she ended up fine even though all I did was panic. But if she was a regular patient, she'd just keep on bleeding and we'd both panic.
あとは自分でできます。沢井さんは もう戻っていいです。
後で血圧測りに来るね。
Am I really doing my job as a nurse? Like, my patient just taught me what to do. She's a nursing school student, so even if you'd expect her to have more medical knowledge than a regular person, she just knows so much more than me, and is a lot more like a nurse to boot. Though I've got to work a lot harder myself. And I know that, but it's just so depressing.
白恋リセラピー。
As I make my logs for the day in the nurse's station, the chief comes in looking concerned.
どうかしたんですか？
ああ、沢井さん、これよろしく。
I don't even think before taking it. It's cold and has something written on the front.
これは輸血ですか？
酒井さんの末血データが良くないのよ。とりあえず貧血がひどいから今日から脳石開始ね。
脳石。
濃厚赤血球を入れてひとまず赤血球値の改善を図る。分かったらルート取りに行きなさい。
I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but it seems like Miss Sakai is getting a blood transfusion. Leuko-reduced blood is made specifically for transfusions, right? Whatever the case may be, I have to insert a needle into Miss Sakai and make sure the root gets the blood flowing into her smoothly, right?
ごめんなさい。
Miss Sakai's veins are so thin that I can't find a good route for the needle, not with my skills anyway.
私の病名ご存知ですか？
再生不良性貧血です。
へえ、ご存知だとは思いませんでした。無駄に針を刺して血液中の赤血球を垂れ流しにさせるんですものね。
Making me bleed.
ごめんなさい。
では血小板値が下がって血が止まりにくくなっていることはご存知ですか？
知ってます。
あら、それも知ってらしたんですね。血が止まりにくくなっているのが分かっていて針を刺したんですか？
すみません。
One mistake and this is what I get. It's only fair though. Patients experience pain every time we stick a needle in them. Each time I fail, they have to experience even more pain.
ごめんなさい。
ごめんなさいで済んだら警察はいらないという言葉をご存知ではないんですね。
I'm dying here. I can't take this. I need to get someone to step in for me.
他の人に代わってもらいますので、ちょっと待っていてくださいね。
最初からそうすればよかったの。
Mean to the very last second I'm with her.
というわけで、渚先輩、お願いします。無理無理無理無理、絶対無理。そこをなんとか、私のプリセプターである渚先輩にお願いしたいんです。
そんなこと言ったって、私だって2年目のペーペーなのよ。しかも私針刺し苦手だし。それに酒井さんのルート確保って輸血でしょ。しかもアネミーきついし難易度高すぎ。絶対無理無理無理無理無理無理無理無理、絶対無理。
Absolutely, unquestionably, no way, no how.
アネミ
貧血のことよ。ドイツ語ね。
Really?
アネミーだと血管細いのがデフォだし、
針刺しの難易度一気にアップじゃない。無理無理無理、絶対に無理。
Senpai just won't budge. At my wit's end, I look over to the chief. The chief? That's right, I should have just asked the chief from the get-go. She always picks my IV needles for me when I mess them up after all.
渚先輩もこう言ってるし、主任さんにお願いできれば。
私からもお願いします。
We both bow deeply to her. She looks upset at first, but the more Senpai and I bow to her, the more she realizes that this is her only choice. The chief's a sure bet. She already successfully gave Miss Sakai a drip the other day.
お願いします、主任さん。
仕方がないわね。
Hatsumi gets up with a big sigh.
物品は用意できているの？
はい、バッグとルート類はすでに部屋にあるので、新しい留置針と防水布、あと絆創膏と表面保護フィルム。
どれどれ？
The chief checks every item on the tray.
あのね、沢井さん。
Was that another sigh just now? Did I make another mistake?
この22ゲージの黒芯をわざわざ用意した根拠は何？
いつも留置針は22ゲージだから。
いつもは輸液でしょ。今回は輸血なの。赤血球が針の中を通るのよ。
Now that she mentions it, she's right.
22ゲージで刺してもいいけど、すぐ詰まるわよ。詰まるたびに刺し直しをするの？
Right. So you have to adjust the thickness of the needle depending on whether you do a drip or a blood transfusion.
そういうこと。輸血の時にはもっと太い18ゲージのピンク芯を用意しなさい。
はい、すみません。
藤沢さんもこういうことはプリセプターのあなたが教えておくべきことよ。断る前に物品チェックくらいしなさい。
すみません。
Oh, I'm so sorry I dragged you into this, senpai. The chief yelled at you because of me.
ほら、行くわよ二人とも。主義を実地で指導するからいらっしゃい。しょんぼりするのは後にして。
I shouldn't have expected anything less from the chief. In a matter of seconds, she fishes out a thin vein and inserts the needle, securing it in place for the transfusion. I'm impressed with her dexterity, but depressed by it at the same time. So this is the difference experience makes, huh?
沢井さんも頑張っているのはわかるけど、基礎的な理解が不十分なのよね。
She's criticizing my fundamental knowledge now.
今日の勤務ももうすぐ終わりね。私の部屋で勉強会をします。来なさい。
Hold up. Stream froze for a second. Are we good? I think we're fine. Okay, I think it.
はい、お願いします。
The chief's place. I wonder if she'll make me clean up again. I don't mind tidying up though, so it's not really a big deal.
何よ、沢言ったら。今日飲みに誘おうと思ったのに。主任には絶対服従しちゃってさ。
藤沢さんの場合は基礎はできているけれど、応用ができていないのよね。頑張っているのはわかるけど。あなたも私の部屋に来る？
いいえ、私は今日用事がありますから。
そう。 無理強いはしないわ。来たくなったらいらっしゃいね。
So Nagisa won't be coming. That's unfortunate. After switching out shifts. Actually, isn't my locker pretty close to the chief's in the changing room? Chief Hatsumi takes off her nurse uniform. Oh boy, I'm getting nervous.
ところで沢井さん、学生の頃はどの教科が苦手だったの？
School, I had pretty bad grades all around. It's embarrassing to admit, but I can't lie to the chief. Even if I did, she'd find out. I'll just tell the truth.
むしろ全部
I turn around and find Chief Hatsumi in her underwear. That's some sexy lingerie.
沢井さん、どうしたの？
I know I shouldn't be looking, but I can't take my eyes off of her. Oh, I could feel myself blushing. I'm definitely being weird right now.
沢井さん、あなた顔が真っ赤よ。
なんでもないです
Chief Hatsumi's gonna think I'm so weird. Calm down, dear heart of mine. Please just relax.
騒い、何を騒いで。って主任、何騒いを誘惑してんですか。
誘惑してないわよ、そんなこと。
しっかりしなさい、騒い。ちょっと何顔を赤くしてるのよ。
渚先輩だって
How am I supposed to tell her I can't take my eyes off of the chief in nothing but her underwear?
沢井に教えるのは私がしますから。今日は私が沢井を連れて帰ります。沢井妙に顔が赤いし、もしかしたら熱があるのかも。つか、なんか病気なのかもしれません。
それはいいけれど、藤沢さん、あなた今日は用事があるって言ってなかった？は
っ。
それに、あなたが教えられなかったところのフォローとして私の部屋で勉強会をするのだけれど。
じゃあ私先に帰りますね。失礼しました。お疲れ様でした。
Wait a minute, Nagisa?
まったく藤沢さんは。沢井さんは帰ったりしないわよね。
Chief Hatsumi doesn't seem to think I'm weird, and I don't really have a reason to not go to the study session.
はい主任さんに教えてもらうことがあるのでいろいろと
Yeah, lots of stuff about being a nurse. But can't she hurry up and put on some clothes? I feel like I'm gonna start imagining a lot of things soon.
さあ沢井さん、どうぞ入って。
はいお邪魔します
It looks like there's a lot left over from when I cleaned the other day.
さあ始めましょうか。沢井さんは適当に座ってちょうだい。私はお茶でも入れるわね。
Her face is screaming, what do you think? I think it's pretty normal to keep your place tidy. But still, I spot a seat under a pile of books, so I clean them up and sit down. As soon as I park myself in the seat, a cup of tea is set in front of me. A subtle, relaxing aroma wafts up from the cup.
あなたにはお世話になったから、どうぞ。
She smiles. I think this every time I see her in private, but the chief has such a different air about her when she's not in her uniform. Not to mention the fact that she's wearing such sexy underwear underneath those clothes. Whoa there. I shouldn't be thinking about this stuff. Keep calm, keep cool.
いただきます
I'll drink some of this tea that she prepared for me to... What the heck is this? What is this astringent awful taste taking over my head? It's not just on my tongue either. To put it in medical terms, my oral mucosa is expanded and getting hot. It's burning.
沢井さん沢井さんどうしたの
And I died. Game over. In the end, I didn't learn anything that day. Chief, please tell me, just how did you manage to make tea so terrible the mere taste of it nearly ruptured my brain cells?
白恋リセラピー 沢井アミちゃん見なかった
Nagisa asked me as soon as I walked into the nurse's station.
アミちゃんですか
Come to think of it, I haven't really seen her today.
アミちゃんいなくて昼のバイタル取れてないのよ沢井手が空いたら取ってきてくれるはい今は大丈夫なのですぐ行ってきますごめんねよろしく
It's not like Ami to go missing when we're supposed to take her temperature. She's been in the hospital for a long time, so she knows how important it is for us to keep schedule. She's always in her room when we do rounds. She even takes care of other patients. She's a very conscientious girl.
アミちゃん
I peek inside the room. But just like Nagisa said, Ami isn't there.
アミちゃんどこにいるか知らない
I asked Sho, but he just shakes his head no.
そっかありがとう
I leave the hospital room.
あヒロくんアミちゃん知らないかな
I spot Hiro in the hallway, so I decide to ask him too. However,
アーミンなら知ってるよ。
え本当にどこにいるの
アーミンなら知ってるけど、どこにいるかは知らない。
you suck, Hiro. Unbelievable.
ありがとう
Let's see, where does Ami usually go? Where would I go if I were Ami?
ここにもいないか
Just then, I spot a familiar face out of the corner of my eye.
あ山之内さんアミちゃん見かけませんでした
見てへんで。うちはレントゲンフィルム取りに地下にも寄ったけど、そこでも会わんかった。
そうですかありがとうございます
Let down again. That's strike two. Where on earth could she have gone? I've searched everywhere I could imagine she'd be. All that's left is the bathroom, maybe? I think about going to check it out until I look at my watch. She would have been back in her room by now if she just went to the bathroom, right? It's been a while since Nagisa went to go check on her. Maybe I should go back to the hospital room.
Amiちゃんやっぱいないか一体どこに行っちゃったんだろう
I look around the room and see Sho, who looks like she really wants to say something.
翔ちゃん
I don't ask her anything, yet she shakes her head no at me. Something seems fishy about all this. As I stare at her, she shifts uncomfortably.
翔ちゃん何か知ってるの誰にも言わないから私にだけ教えてくれる
After a moment of awkward deliberation, she nods her head yes.
アーミンちゃんはね内緒の場所に行ってるの
内緒の場所
Sho nods again.
屋上
屋上
She Sho is a girl, right? But that's a boy's name. He puts his finger up to my lips.
内緒の場所だから C だよ。お姉ちゃんは仲良しさんだから特別に教えてあげるの。内緒だよ。
I can't hold back my smirk. Kids are so cute, aren't they?
わかった。内緒ね。教えてくれてありがとう。
Sho gives me a big smile. But the roof? No wonder I couldn't find her anywhere. I thought the roof was off limits, though. Either way, I leave the hospital room and head up to the roof. I was told these stairs led to the hospital roof when I got my first tour of the place, but I'm pretty sure the chief told me not to go up there because it wasn't used for anything. Is Ami really up on the roof? I push open the heavy door and notice it's not even locked. There she is. I see her there, right in front of me, and go to call out to her. But before I can, I hear a very soothing sound. Is that melody coming from Ami? Ami has some kind of keyboard instrument in front of her. She must be playing it to create this music I'm hearing. I slowly walk up to Ami, not wanting to startle her. She must see my shadow because she stops and turns around.
あ、かおりんさん。ごめんね、お邪魔して。綺麗で不思議な音色の楽器ね。ありがとうございます。これが前に話してたフォルテールっていう楽器なんですよ。
Oh, that's what those are called?
これがフォルテールなんだ。アミちゃんが専攻しているっていう楽器よね。そうなんです。
She nods excitedly.
病室だと音は出せないから、ここで時々隠れて練習してるんです。安静にしてなきゃいけないのは分かってるんですけど。
Stay in bed and rest, though.
そっか。
I can't say I know much about music, but I have heard that people who want to be professional musicians have to practice every day. They say taking a break for just one day makes them worse. I bet Ami is worried about not being able to go to school and practice.
本当はもっと大きい楽器なんですけど、さすがに病院には持ち込めないから。携帯サイズとは言っても結構目立つでしょ。
Really big, isn't it?
そうね。携帯用っていうともっと小さいものをイメージしちゃうもんね。鍵盤楽器だからこれくらいが限界なのかも。ロールピアノみたいなのがあれば便利なんですけど、さすがにフォルテールのロールピアノみたいなのは見たことがありませんからね。
Ami plays a bubbly melody. The clear sound gets sucked up into the setting sun.
本当に綺麗な音。なんだか癒される感じ。フォルテールは魔導楽器とも呼ばれていて、特別な魔力を持つ人でないと音が出ないんですよ。魔力？はい、そう言われてます。とはいえ、私が弾けてるんだから、実はそう大したものじゃないかもしれないけど。そんなことないと思うよ。私、魔力とかはよくわからないけど、さっきの演奏、すごく素敵だった。あれは、アミちゃんだからこそ出せる音だって私は思ったよ。
She looks up at me, the surprise clear in her eyes.
私だから出せる音？
I nod with confidence.
そう、なんだかね、アミちゃんらしい音だったよ。うまく言えないんだけど。明るくて、元気で、でも優しくて、柔らかくて、あったかくて、本当にアミちゃんみたいって思ったの。うわ、どうしよう。すっごく照れる。
She smiles bashfully with pink cheeks. Looks like she understands what I wanted to say.
実はね、フォルテールって人の心を映す鏡とも言われてるんですよ。奏者の心が濁れば音も濁る。 奏者の心が澄んでいれば、その音は清らかに澄み渡り、聴衆の心に響く。聴いている人に癒しを与える演奏をするためには、単に上手くなりたいと思うだけではダメよっていつも先生に言われてるんです。
Ami looks off in the distance.
学園にいるときは私、先生の言うことがよく理解できなくて、とにかく技術を上達させなきゃって躍起になってたんです。でも全然上手くならなくて落ち込んで。
そうだったんだ。
さっきはね、何も考えずに奏でてたんです。ただ夕映えの空や街並みが綺麗だな、風が気持ちいいなって、それだけ思って。
The wind on my skin.
じゃあそんなアミちゃんの気持ちが素敵な音に変わってたのね。
そうなのかな。そうだったらいいな。
絶対そうだよ。だって本当にとっても綺麗で優しい音色だったもの。
なんか照れちゃうな。お礼にっていうのも変だけど、なんかリクエストがあれば演奏したいななんて。
本当？わあ、どうしよう。何がいいかな。
Coming up with something on the spot. Of course I can't decide. I like a lot of different songs though. The one song I think would sound wonderful in the Portaloo is...
じゃあ思いの羽。できたらそれがいいな。
知ってます、その曲。私も大好き。
本当？
A big smile spreads over her face.
じゃあカオリンさんのために気合いじゃなくて心を込めて。
Ami takes a deep breath. Her little pale fingers rest on the keyboard, and a soft, harmonious melody begins to play, seeming to dance in the wind all around us. The pleasant sound rocks me back and forth, and I close my eyes as I sway to it. Even after she stops playing, I can't shake the astonishment it gave me and stand in a daze.
カオリンさん、カオリンさん。
When I come to, Ami's right in front of me, giving me a worried look.
もしかして気に入ってもらえませんでした？
Seeing her shoulders droop, I quickly shake my head.
違うよ。気に入らないはずがないよ。すごかった。すごい演奏だった。すごく綺麗で心地よくて、つい我を忘れて聞き入っちゃったな。
よかった。
I'm relieved to see that Ami's relieved.
プロを目指す人ってすごいね。音楽のことなんか全くわからない私まで問答無用でその世界に引き込んじゃうんだもん。
プロだなんて考えたこと、いえ、ちょっとはあるかもですけど、もうカオリンさんたら褒めすぎですよ。
本心だよ。なんだか私も頑張ろうって元気が湧いてきちゃった。
Ami smiles calmly. It's such a mature smile. I thought she was just a child, but even Ami can look like this.
よーし、これで午後も頑張れる。って、
Ami flinches when I yell out.
ここに来た理由忘れてた。アミちゃん、午後の検温。
ごめんなさい。私も練習に夢中で忘れてた。
She rushes to put away her instrument.
急がなくても大丈夫だから、ちゃんと待っててあげるから。
やだ、カオリンさんってば優しい。
そうですよ。カオリンさんは優しい看護師さんなのです。
share a laugh. Once she's finished packing, we walk at Ami's pace down the stairs and back inside. When we get back to the nurse's station, I take her temperature and record it on the chart as I think back to that beautiful melody she played. Just thinking about it makes me smile.
そういえば沢井さん、浅田さんの検温は済んだの？
はい。
そう。ところで彼女、どこにいたのかしら？藤沢さんが随分探したそうだけれど。
I'm not sure whether or not I should tell the chief about the roof or not. It's against the rules to go up to the roof, I know that. If anyone finds out a patient was up there, and no less with a nurse like me, it'll be a big problem. In order to mitigate that, I should tell the chief about it, but the chief might end up completely locking off access to the roof. Then Ami's happy place will be gone forever. Should I stay silent or tell the chief? I'm sorry, Ami, I have to tell her. After a moment of thought, I decide to tell her about it. I'm sure the chief will understand.
アミちゃん、いえ、浅田さんは屋上にいました。
屋上に？
あ、危険なことをしていたとかそういうわけではなくて、楽器の練習のために立ち入ったみたいです。
そう。
The chief stops to think for a moment.
屋上って立ち入り禁止やなかった？大丈夫なんですか、主任
Yamanote puts her pen down from the medical record she's writing to chime in.
原則、立ち入り禁止ね。
そもそも要安静のネフローゼの子が安静を守れてないって状況も問題なんと違いますか？
The chief fell silent and thought. Maybe I shouldn't have told her after all.
屋上の柵は少し低くて転落の危険性があるのと他の院内施設に比べて老朽化しているということをあなたは理解していますか？
You do understand that, don't you? I didn't think about that at all. What should I say to her? There's no way I can get anything past the chief, so I might as well just tell the truth.
正直言うと、そこまでは考えが至りませんでした。けれど、入院中の患者さんにとって屋上が癒しの場になっているのは事実だと思います。
癒しの場ねえ。
Yamanote smiles. I hope it's just my imagination that it seems like she's trying to mess with me. No, it's not. She's completely fed up with me.
もし誰かが屋上から飛び降りたとしたら責任を取るのは誰でしょう？
I'm startled.
飛び降りるやのうて柵に近寄って足を滑らせて転落でもええよ。さて誰が悪いんでしょう？飛び降りたんも患者の責任、足滑らせたんも患者の責任。せやけど外部の人間はそうは見んやろ。病院の管理不行き届き、連日マスコミに叩かれ悪評立てられて、百合ヶ浜総合はゴーストホスピタル一直線や。
そんな。
一般人は病院中もんにクリーンなイメージを求めとる。イメージダウンは即経営悪化につながる。患者の癒しも結構やけど、その代償が患者の転落事件とそれに伴う風評被害じゃ割に合わん。
The chief looks even more determined after hearing that.
じゃあ、アミちゃんはどうしたら。
The chief looks very perturbed by the whole idea, and after a brief look of pity, she turns to me with that hard, stern look she always has.
浅田さんはこの病院に治療のために入院しているの。楽器の練習や癒しのための入院ではないわ。
でも
そもそも 浅田さんは安静治療中です。屋上への立ち入りをみすみす見逃したばかりか、ベッドにいない理由を正当化しようだなんて。
So incredulous of you.
患者さんと慣れ合うのもいいけれど、あなたは看護師なのよ。看護の本質を忘れてはダメ。今日限りで屋上へ続くドアは施錠します。よって今後は関係者の許可がない限り、患者さんの屋上への立ち入りは厳重に禁止とします。
Up to the roof is strictly forbidden.
浅田さんの楽器の練習については、彼女の病状が良くなるまでは保留。分かったわね。
I understand the logic to all of that, but my heart just can't accept it. However, the chief turns and walks out of the nurse's station as if to declare the end of our conversation. I, on the other hand,
ま、そういうこっちゃ。今回は沢井が全面的に悪い。何かあってからでは遅いんやで。
Yamanochi pats me on the shoulder, then follows the chief out of the nurse's office. Thanks to my carelessness, Ami's happy place is gone forever.
あみちゃん。
So I go to her room to apologize. When I get there, however, I hear the chief's voice coming from inside room 306.
というわけで、浅田さんにはしっかりと安静を守ってもらわないといけないの。安静にしなければ治るものも治らないわ。入院生活が退屈なのはわかるし、楽器の練習をしたくて焦る気持ちもわかるけれど、あなたの病気は。
But in your condition, it's very important that you get as much rest as possible. Is Ami crying?
前回の入院はストレス性の腹痛だったし、他に屋上に立ち入っている患者さんはいなかったから、私たちも多めに見ていたわ。けれど
But
今
this
回の
time,
入院はネフローゼでしょ。それに他の患者さんも屋上の存在に気づき始めた。
the chief talks so slowly.
こうなったらもう封鎖するしかないの。わかるわね。大丈夫よ。病状が安定したら看護師の観察付きで屋上に上がる許可を出してあげるから。今は。
はい、すみませんでした。
Ami. In the end, maybe this really was best for Ami's recovery. But it certainly doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth. I imagine Ami smiling with the wind in her hair as she plays her fortiloo for just a moment, but the image quickly fades.
白衣性恋愛症候群リセラピー。
もう少し2年目としての自覚と内科看護師としての責任を持って仕事をしてちょうだい。
Huh?
してるつもりです。
What's going on?
あなたはそのつもりでも、あなたの勤務態度に不安や不満を持つ患者さんがいることは確かなのよ。
When I get back to the nurse's station, I see the chief arguing with Senpai. I don't think I've heard her raise her voice like this before.
処置が雑、話を聞き流す、何か頼んでも人任せにしてやってくれない、そういうクレームが複数来ているわ。
Multiple complaints like these about you. This is a really rare sight. The chief sounds so perturbed that it's like she doesn't even care that patients might be overhearing. When I quietly creep into the nurse's station, Yamanochi puts her finger to her lips to let me know to be quiet. I nod, quietly take my seat, and open my report.
やるべきことはきちんとやっています。 患者さんからの要望も看護師がすべきじゃないことは介護士に頼んでいますけど。
看護師がすべきじゃないことだなんて誰が判断したの？そして誰がそうしろと指示を出したの？
それは。
Senpai bites her lip and looks down.
だってゴミを捨ててほしいとかおむつを変えてくれとかそういうのは別に看護師じゃなくても。
ゴミ捨てもおむつ交換も看護師の仕事ではなく介護士の仕事だと言いたいのね。
はい。だって看護師は看護師としての仕事が他にもたくさんあるし。
The chief lets out a sigh.
仕事が多いのは介護士さんも同じよ。医療行為の垣根は越えられないけれどそれ以外のところは協力すべきじゃないかしら。
But don't you think you should work with them for the other things we have to do?
でも
患者さんは汚れたおむつが気持ち悪くて少しでも早くきれいにしてほしいと思っているわ。あなたが患者さんの立場だったらどう思う？
Do we have to do this again, Senpai?
おむつが汚れたから変えてほしいと頼んだら自分の仕事じゃないからって断られたらどう？あなただったらどう思う？待てる？
Senpai shoots a look at the chief in response. I can feel her frustration from her glare, the frustration of not being understood.
私はおむつを変えるために看護師になったわけじゃありません。
They continue to glare at each other for a while. I start to panic, but I follow Yamanouchi's suggestion to keep quiet and watch them.
わかりました。そういうことなら藤沢さんは部屋持ち業務除外の上しばらくコールも取らなくて結構よ。必要があるからコールをしてくる患者さんの要望を個人の都合で襟好みして受けたり受けなかったりするのは迷惑です。
If you're just going to pick and choose the requests you'll fulfill based on whatever you feel like, you'll just waste everyone's time.
あなたは看護師として何をすべきで誰のためにここにいるのか頭を冷やしてしっかり考えなさい。
私
Senpai's face has gone beet red, and she fights back tears as she tries to speak. I want to run up and comfort her, but the room's too tense for that.
とりあえずしばらくはフリー業務をお願いします。部屋持ちに戻すかどうかはあなたの態度で判断しますからそのつもりで。
はい。
Senpai can only nod before the pressure the chief exudes. The chief says nothing else and looks up at the clock on the wall as if the argument hadn't even happened.
そろそろ点滴交換の時間ね。申し訳ないけれど沢井さん。
I nearly leap up. I didn't expect my name to come up.
点滴回り今日は一人でやってくれる？わからないことがあればすぐコールして誰かを呼んでください。
でもまだ一人なんて。
Before I say that I can't do it, the chief smiles as she shakes her head.
無理ではないはずよ。最近のあなたは知識も増えてきたし患者さんへの対応も落ち着いてきているわ。
そんなこと。
病棟を預かる主任としてあなたを見ていてもハラハラしなくなったし何より患者さんからの評判もいいの。
I feel a mix of discomfort and bashfulness when the chief compliments me. Like I'd studied for myself. And when I think of that, Miss Sakai's face comes to mind. This might be thanks to her. Every time I go to her room, I come back depressed about a bunch of things, which just makes me want to not give her the chance to chew me out the next time. That's why I've been studying after every visit. Miss Sakai's room is probably my training ground.
無菌操作の必要な少し難しい処置はまだ単独でやらせるわけにはいかないけれど点滴くらいはもう大丈夫だと判断します。
handling ID round.
自信を持っていつも通りにやってごらんなさい。
Being slightly acknowledged by the usually strict chief fills me with joy. Every interaction I have with Miss Sakai leaves me wanting to crawl into bed and never come out, but they were actually good for me. It's a strange feeling.
おー、やったな。独り立ちへの第一歩。おめ。
Yamanochi gives me a poke and I quickly shake my head.
全然私なんてまだまだですよ。
謙遜せんな。沢井が頑張ってることはみんな認めてる。ま、あとは空回りの回数を減らすことやね。いつも通り適度に慎重にやれば大丈夫や。スピードアップとか患者さんの受け狙いとか変な色気出さん限り問題ないんちゃう？
Pull off something fancy.
あ、薬剤の確認はダブルチェックやからな。藤沢、沢井と一緒に確認してくれるか？
The moment Yamanochi looks at Senpai, she quickly looks away.
私今日はカルテとレントゲンの整理をしますので。渚先輩。
She's really sulking.
あっそ。ほな、うちがやるわ。沢井、行こうか。
I was just so happy that the chief acknowledged me that I hadn't thought about how down Senpai must feel. There's no way she'd be in a good mood. Why would she want to do anything with me right after I was praised and she was torn down? I really wasn't considerate enough. I wonder if I really turned Senpai off of me.
沢井、はよ来い。
I standed for the workspace with all of the unchecked IV bottles lined up on it.
沢井が悪いわけやない。気にすることあらへんよ。藤沢もそこは分かっとるはずやから。
Yamanochi reassures me as she rearranges the bottles to make them easier to check.
沢井はまだまだやけど、新人なりによく頑張ってると思う。そこは主任もうちも認めとる。
Her gentle words make tears well up.
藤沢は2年目か。いろいろと難儀な時期突入やね。
難儀な時
知識も経験も全然やのに、下に新人が来て先輩の立場になって気ばかり焦る。
She can't relax her mind.
それに藤沢は看護師に憧れて看護師になった口やろ。憧れていた看護師層と現実のジレンマ、これもきっつい。でもそれは看護師続ける限り永遠と続く。
そういうものなんですか。
Yamanochi slowly nods. Then I take a look at Senpai, who's organizing the records a little further away. Her face is puffy as she holds back tears.
これは藤沢が乗り越えるべき壁や。でも人事やないで。誰にでも沢井にも必ず来る壁や。
I gulp when I hear that. I'm going to face that wall myself one day.
じゃあチェックいくで。
Yamanochi's a little hard to understand, but she's a pretty good person. She's really open and easy to talk to, but sometimes she'll just say the coldest things. But at the same time, she'll be really relatable and helpful, as a nurse farther along the path than I am. I want to be a nurse like her sometime myself, one who can help the others like she helps me. I think I'll call out to Senpai when I'm leaving work today. Maybe we can have dinner together, then relax in my room as we vent with each other. Senpai's always helping me out, so I should probably hear her out sometimes too. If letting it out will make her feel a little better, then I want to be there for her. As perfect as she might seem, she has to have worries, doubts, and challenges. And since I lean on her too much, I couldn't even see the obvious. No, I didn't even try to see it. I'm sorry, Senpai. I'm gonna do my best to back you up from now on.
渚先輩、しっかりしてください。もう飲めない。はいはい、飲まなくていいですよ。って足元気をつけて。ただいまじゃなくて、ここは私の部屋です。渚先輩の部屋の鍵、どこにあるんですか？カバンのどっか？もうしょうがないな。
It looks like the chief's words really hit Senpai hard. I invited her to a pretty classy bar in Kanakura, hoping to have a glass or two with her, but Senpai drank herself under the table. This is why I stopped her too.
さわい、お水ちょうだい。はいはい、ちょっと待っててくださいね。
I pull some mineral water out of my fridge, pour into a cup, and hand it to her.
はい、冷たいですよ。飲ませてくれなきゃやん。
She defiantly shakes herself about, and I let out a sigh.
何甘えん坊さんになってるんですか。いいの、今日は甘えん坊さんになる。飲ませてくれなきゃやだ。
She thrashes her limbs about like a child in a tantrum, and I can't help but grimace a little.
しょうがないな。
I hold the cup of mineral water steady as I bring it to Senpai's mouth.
はい、コップですよ。飲んでください。
She pouts, looking dissatisfied.
へえ、口移しじゃないの？
That might be for another ending, Senpai.
口？チューで飲ませて。チュー？
She pushes out her lips, and I'm frozen with the cup in my hand.
やだな、もう冗談だってば。
This drunkard.
ドキドキした？したよ、しました。さあ、ほら飲んでくださいってば。
I push the glass against Senpai's lips.
冷たい。
Oops, sorry, Senpai.
冷たい。
I tip the glass further, thinking she'll drink it, but the water spills out and wets up her chest instead.
こぼれてるじゃないですか。とりあえずはタオル。
I scramble to get a towel and wipe Senpai's chest down.
着替えた方がいいですよね。何か着替えなかったかな。着替え。これでいいよ。
Senpai pulls out the nurse uniform with the frayed hem I bought home to mend.
渚先輩、それ白衣ですよ。ちょうどいいじゃない。私たち看護師だし。
With a big grin on her face, she takes off her top before I can stop her and puts on my familiar nurse uniform. Well, it's frayed, but there's no one in my room to point and laugh.
ねえねえ、似合う？
Senpai looks pleased as a peach as she holds the hem of my uniform skirt and flaps it about. How does she look? She looks the same as always in her hospital whites.
はいはい、似合います似合います。なんか心がこもってない感じ。
Senpai purses her lips and objects. And I can't help letting out a giggle.
本当に似合ってますよ。渚先輩は白衣の天使です。
本当照れるな。
She seems very pleased.
そうだ、沢井も着るといいよ。
I can't, you have mine.
それがいいよ。一緒に天使になろ。どうして私まで。私とペアルックじゃ嫌なの？
Match with her.
私とおそろの服じゃ。いや、沢井、私とペアルックするのは。いや。
She looks up at me with puppy dog eyes.
っていうか、いつも病棟でペアルックしてるじゃないですか。いやー、そういうのじゃなくて、私はここで沢井とペアルックしたいの。
This drunkard. Realizing that arguing would get me nowhere, I pull out a uniform and never got around to replacing the button on. When I put it on, I look at Senpai. She has a satisfied smile on her face.
はーい、じゃあ今から診察しましょう。診察？
My mind goes completely blank. I hadn't expected to hear that. What does she mean, check up?
だってせっかく白衣着たんだよ。私が沢井を見てあげる。はい、白衣脱いでここに座ってください。
She pets the cushion in front of her. I can't even follow what's going on anymore.
ですね、渚先輩。この白衣はナース用ですよね。診察ってのはドクターの仕事では。もう細かいことはごちゃごちゃ言わない。診察するったらするの。ほら脱いで脱いで。
Senpai wastes no time in reaching out to take off my uniform.
渚先輩ってば、待ってくださいってば。
If I just protect my buttons and zip her to the death, then she won't be able to strip me, most likely.
やだ、お医者さんごっこ。お医者さんごっこするの。お医者さんごっこ？
Senpai nods with a smile in the best of moods.
沢井が患者で私がドクター。ほら早く脱いで。手間かけさせないでよ、もう。患者って私も看護師って無理やり脱がさないでください。患者さんはおとなしくしてください。
She holds me down.
渚先輩。あれ、ステートどこ行ったかな。
She swivels her neck, looking around here and there.
ここって私の部屋じゃないんだっけ。ねえ沢井、ステートある？ステートって聴診器ですよね。看護学校の時使ってたやつが確かこの辺の段ボールに。
I escape Senpai's clutches and sift around the cardboard box.
あった。おお、ピンク、かわいい。渚先輩は何色だったんですか？私はドクターの使うやつに憧れてたから奮発してリットウーマンの黒だよ。すごい高級ですね。さてとステートも見つかったことだし、さあ脱ぎ脱ぎしましょうね。でまた始まってるし。はい、今日はどうしましたか？もう仕方ないな。
I let out a bit of a sigh. She's too drunk to be reasoned with, and I'm sure she'll be satisfied if I play her game for a little. ちょっと風邪気味みたいで。
それは大変ですね。ちょっと音が聞きづらいので胸を開けてください。振りだけでいいんですよね。ダメダメ、ちゃんと真剣にやらないと。だって胸を開けるって。
Senpai looks up at me with innocently wanting eyes. I can't say no to that force.
もうちょっとだけですよ。
I undo a button on my uniform like I would in a real examination, and I pull down my zipper all the way to my belly button.
素直でよろしい。
Senpai nods in satisfaction, then puts her stethoscope to my chest.
びっくりした。何よ突然。だって聴診器が冷たくて。だからっていきなり大声上げたら私の耳が痛いでしょ。すみません。
I actually apologize.
分かればいいのよ、分かれば。はーい、じゃあ続けますよ。肺の音は綺麗ですね。心臓の鼓動がちょっと早いですね。どうしたんでしょうね。
Why did it end up like this?
はーい、失礼しますよ。
With a big grin, Senpai takes the stethoscope that was touching my skin and slides it into my bra.
やっぱり鼓動が少し早いですね。運動とかしてきましたか？してません。
It tickles.
おかしいですね。
Senpai's stethoscope travels eagerly back and forth inside my bra.
渚先輩、まだですか？よく聞こえなくてね。
I'm desperately holding on, red face and staving off embarrassment and the ticklish cold sensation of the medical instrument.
ねえ、気持ちよくない？
She slips the stethoscope off of me. Then she brings her cheek to my chest.
ごめん、私ちょっと悪乗りしちゃったかな。渚先輩。
A hint of alienation tinges her whisper. That's when I remember how hurt she is. Senpai gently touches my breast.
沢井は成長したよね。胸だってほらこんなに。高校の頃は2人でぺったんこだったの。いつの間にこんなに大きくなって。
She pushes one up in her hand. In doing so, she might just have found out how hard my heart is beating.
そんなことはないです。渚先輩だって柔らかくて。
As if to get back at her, I put my hand on Senpai's breast too. They're so soft that they probably change in shape with the slightest bit of pressure.
ねえ沢井、ドキドキしてる？私にドキドキしてくれる？はい、すごくドキドキします。伝わってますか？この鼓動。私はいつだって。
She speaks too quietly for me to hear her.
はい。
She looks away. When she pulls away from me, however, she's back to the old senpai I know.
いやー、今日は飲みすぎちゃった。ごめんね。
She laughs bashfully and fixes up my uniform. I'm a little disappointed about losing the mood, but I'm also a little relieved.
ごめんね、ほんとごめん。私飲みすぎちゃったな。今日はもう帰るね。そうですね。その方がいいかもです。渚先輩、明日はお休みですよね。せっかくお休みなんですし、ゆっくり寝ないと。
Senpai stands up, still in my uniform.
白衣、このまま着て帰るわ。裾のほつれ直してから洗って返すね。そんないいですよ、そのままで。ダメダメ、私酔っ払って沢井に迷惑かけたんだから、これ以上迷惑はかけられないわよ。
You really don't have to. But Senpai believes in repaying her close friends like she would anyone else. That type of politeness and diligence is something I've always loved about her.
じゃあね。
When she turns around and starts moving, I call out to her.
渚先輩、お水いっぱい飲んでゆっくり寝てくださいね。うん、そうする。ごめんね。おやすみ。おやすみなさい。
Left alone in my room, I find myself thinking. Senpai sure was strange today. I guess she still got what happened this afternoon hanging over her. And if she hadn't pulled away from me when she did, what would have happened with us? I wonder if doing that comforted her. I want to cheer her up somehow, but I'm not sure what a greenhorn nurse like me can do for her. Frustration wells up when I realize my powerlessness. I remember what Yamanouchi said this afternoon.
これは藤沢が乗り越えるべき壁や。でも人事やないで、誰にでも沢井にも必ず来る壁や。
乗り越えるべき壁か。
I've always looked up to Senpai and how perfect she is, and this wall made her drink herself into a stupor. And this is a wall I'm going to encounter eventually too. Though I can't deny the worry I feel, my answer is already set in stone. There's no turning back.
渚先輩。
When that time comes, I'm going to do my best. So please, do your best to get through this. I'll be watching over you.
白衣性恋愛症候群リセラピー。
Ever since the incident a few days ago, Senpai's been on free work duty like the chief said and is no longer in charge of a room. I don't really understand what free work duty is much myself, but it refers to all the work that someone does on days that they're not in charge of a room. Nurses have to do a lot of different types of work, and when you're in charge of a room, there's a lot of smaller things you can't really take care of. That's where the nurses on free duty come in. They take care of what the room nurses can't. Or so I hear. I guess you could say they run errands. Those errands are surprisingly tough, though. They have to patrol around the outpatient ward, organize medical records, contact the doctors, and reserve examinations, as well as a ton of other things. They don't deal with patients directly, but they do really important work. But since Senpai is on the free shift, that means the other nurses and I end up swamped by nurse calls. In fact, most of my time on the job is spent at patient bedsides, and it's becoming harder to sneak out time to write reports.
戻りました。さてと、記録。
But I know that the nurse call always rings the moment I step back into the station. It should ring any minute now. Ah, there it is. And of course, it's from Miss Sakai. Is she watching me or something?
はい、どうされました？輸血終わりました。はい、伺います。
I've gotten pretty used to Miss Sakai's acid tongue lately too, I think. They don't hit me as hard as they used to, and I don't end up on the verge of tears anymore either. I hope I get a bit more used to her, and that she opens up her heart to me a little too.
どうぞ。失 失礼します。じゃあ輸血バッグ外しますね。
お願いします。
She kind of snapped at that. I guess she's still brusque. My hand slips and the blood in the pack goes flying.
ちょっと何してるんですか？
Oops.
ごめんなさい。
So much blood. I scrambled to clean the blood up with alcohol wipes I had on hand. The wipes can't get rid of all the blood though, and ugly bloodstains remain. There's bloodstains on her pajamas too.
どうしよう。そういうのは後にしてルートを保護する方が先でしょ。そっか。
Her words brought me back to my senses, and I secured the tube of leuco-reduced blood into her skin after flushing it with physiological saline. After calming down, I noticed the tragedy around me. So I end up having to change the sheets, and it just so happens.
沢井、どうしたのそんなに理念抱えて。
Senpai looks up from her X-ray organizing in surprise when she sees me carrying sheets and other things.
酒井さんのシーツに宝石飛び散らせちゃって。シーツ交換しなきゃいけないほど？オキシドールで取れないの？オキシドール？過酸化水素水よ。ちょっとした血痕ならオキシドールで取れるわよ。
Oh, really? Oxidil for blood stains. Got it, I'll remember that.
それがちょっとしたってレベルじゃないんです。ああ、なるほど。
She grimaces and picks up some of the sheets.
手伝ってあげるわ、沢井。でも一人でやるより二人でやった方が効率的でしょ。それにそれもそうですね。じゃあ一緒にシーツ交換をお願いします。
Sorry.
一人でやるより二人でやった方が効率的でしょ。それにその方が患者さんのためだしね。
I don't like to cut them off, but like sometimes I don't know when they're done talking, you know.
で、たかがシーツ交換にわざわざ2人で来たわけですか。
Miss Sakai doesn't seem happy to see us. I'm used to her, but what about Senpai? I just hope she doesn't get under Senpai's skin.
シーツ交換なんて看護学校に入ってすぐにやる看護技術でしょ。わざわざ2人で来るほどのもの。
I take a timid look at Senpai's face and... she's smiling, but her eyes sure aren't.
酒井さんの言い分もごもっともですけど、シーツ交換の間、酒井さんにはベッドから出てもらおうと思っているんですよね。ですから短時間で終わらせるために2人で来させていただいたんですが、何か？
この病棟のスタッフって暇なんですか？
Miss Sakai?
はい。今、なんと。
この病棟の看護スタッフってものすごく暇なんですかって聞いたんです。
Whoa.
暇ではありませんけれど、どうしてそういうことをおっしゃるのですか？
Senpai's smile is starting to twitch. This could be really bad.
人の話を聞かない人だらけですね、ここの看護師さんたちは。頭が悪いんですか？たかがシーツ交換に2人も来たから、ここのスタッフは暇なのかなと思った。この流れ、理解できませんか？
Truly so difficult to grasp. Senpai's quivering.
酒井さん。もう怒った。渚先輩。患者だって思って我慢してたらなんなのよもう。
Senpai pushes me out of the way and stands in front of Miss Sakai.
ねえ、なんなのよその言いよう。 人の我慢につけ込んでその態度は何なわけ？
Oh no.
あなたは看護学生だったかもしれないけど今は一患者でしょ。入院先スタッフをバカにするその態度は何なのよ。
The hospital staff that's taking care of you. Senpai, if you talk like that.
その一患者にバカにされるような隙を作ったその入院先スタッフが悪いんじゃないですか？
なんですって？
Oh no, what do I do? They're gonna fight if I don't do anything. I'm really glad that Senpai got mad on my behalf. But if that sours Miss Sakai's mood, I'm gonna really get it next time I come here. I've gotta calm things down somehow. What should I say? I deserve to be mocked.
渚先輩、いいんです。バカにされる私が悪いんです。でも沢井、私が悪いんです。酒井さんが言うことももっともだと思うんです。沢井は悔しくないの？これだけ好き放題言われて。悔しくないわけないです。でもそれとこれとは別問題です。ここは病院で、勤務先で、私はスタッフで、そして酒井さんは患者さんです。できないことを責められるのは当然です。
I can't do for her.
それはそうだけど、なのよもう。私よりもこんな生意気な子の言うこと聞いちゃうわけ？そういうつもりじゃないんですけど。何よ何よ、私よりもこんな子の言うことの方が沢井には大事なのね。渚先輩、何よどうせね。
Senpai.
いいからシーツ交換しちゃいましょう。手伝ってくれるんですよね。ごめんなさい酒井さん、ベッドから出てもらってもいい？
どうぞ。お好きなようにシーツ交換なさってくださいな、お二人で。
人がおとなしくしていれば、患者じゃなければとっとと追い出してやるのに。
言いたいことがあるなら面と向かってはっきり言えばいいのに、情けない。
This is the worst. From now on, whenever I need someone's help in caring for Miss Sakai, I probably shouldn't ask Senpai.
沢井、そっち持って。
Miss Sakai's staring at me.
はい。
It feels like she's drilling a hole into me with her eyes. I'm really nervous.
そうじゃないでしょ。ちゃんと三角作って基本に忠実に。
Senpai looks a bit nervous too, and I notice a slight wrinkle in the sheets.
はい。
These sheets aren't laid out as neatly as they could be. Sorry, Miss Sakai.
これで出来上がりなんですか？
何よ？文句あるの？
文句？ないと思えるその自信が不可解ですね。
Miss Sakai pushes those out of the way and stands on the edge of her bed.
こんな美しくないベッドメイクだとギャッチアップした時にシワができて、寝たきりの患者さんなら一発で褥瘡ができますよね。
She tears the sheets we just made up off the bed.
何するのよ。
Miss Sakai silently glares at Senpai. Senpai seems to have flinched a touch at the sharpness of her eyes. And when she backs down, Miss Sakai cleanly remakes the bed with practiced movements.
すごい。
She could walk the walk too. The flatness of the sheets and the tidiness of the bed are a professional's work. The bed's perfectly made.
あなたたち現役ナースのくせにこれくらいのこともできないんですか？明らかに練習不足ですね。学生時代サボりすぎたんですね。こんな実技の基礎の基礎もできていないなんて、職業意識が足りてないんじゃないですか？
A girls' bar?
もう
but neither of us can say anything back to her. We weren't able to make her bed as cleanly as this, and neither of us are confident that we can.
というわけでシーツ交換も終わったみたいですし、もう休んでいいですか？ああ、私は一患者なのにスタッフの代わりに働かされてしまって疲れてしまったわ。
それは大変申し訳ありませんでした。どうぞゆっくりお休みください。行くわよ、サワイ。
はい。じゃあ酒井さん、失礼します。
なんなのよあれ。なんなのよ。なんなのよ、なんなのよ、なんなのよ。
Senpai's grumbling to herself.
信じられないわ。なんなのよ。失礼にも程があるわ。
The moment we step into the nurse's station, Senpai explodes.
なんなのよあれ。サワイ、よく毎日あんなのの相手してられるわね。
だって酒井さんはああいう人だし。
もう信じられない。なんなのよあの態度。なんなのよあの言い方。もう
I understand what Senpai's saying, but Miss Sakai had to have practiced a lot before she was able to make a bed that perfectly. When I think about that, I feel something other than anger.
まあまあ、渚先輩。
サワイは悔しくないの？私はすごく悔しいわ。もう許せないくらい。
The part-time and temp nurses just watched Senpai rage from afar.
もうほんと許せないわ。もうったらもう。
Yamanochi comes back into the station, takes a look at the raging Nagisa, and speaks up.
藤沢、牛みたいやで。
波及者恋愛消去軍リセラピー。
Strangely enough, there wasn't any trouble today. Miss Sakai elected not to be nasty today, making it a pleasantly peaceful time. But, well, I couldn't understand the medical terms and abbreviation that one of the part-time nurses mentioned, and that was a little embarrassing. I guess that's all that really went wrong. But when the chief saw that, she clued me into the terms and abbreviations.
というわけで少し問題を考えてみたの。さ、解いてみて。
The chief hands me a sheet of paper. There are mixtures of Japanese and letters of the alphabet written here.
主任さん、これは。
空き時間にリストアップしてみたのよ。看護学校ではこういう略語は教えてくれないものね。
The chief smiles brightly at me.
それにしてもあなたが看護という仕事に前向きになってくれるのは病棟主任として以前に先輩看護師としてとても嬉しいわ。
Not as chief of the ward. I feel a little embarrassed when I see her smile. I'm not very used to seeing her like this. Though I look down at the paper to hide my embarrassment. What is this? What code is this? Can anyone read this stuff?
意味わかる？
解読不能です。そもそも暗号にしか見えません。
The chief chuckles.
いいところに目をつけたわね。医療系の略語は暗号の役割も果たすのよ。
そうなんですか？
今は情報開示が進んでいるけれど、昔は重病、例えばがんなどの不治の病は本人に告知しなかったでしょ。
Such as terminal illnesses like cancer, we didn't let the patients know, right?
どこで誰が聞いているかわからない。 病名は出せない時でも専門用語だと一般の人はわからないから便利だったのよ。
I see.
例えば MK、 これは胃がんの略ね。ドイツ語のマーゲンクレブスの略よ。
Maybe this is why, like, nobody can understand, you know, the doctor's signature on stuff.
K はがんというわけですか？
そう、がんの略語は他にもあるのよ。英語のキャンサーから取って C と書いたり CA と書いたりするの。これは習うより慣れろという感じね。胃がんを MK って書く人もいれば、胃 CA って書く人もいるの。その時は分からなくても、用語に触れているうちに気づいたら分かるようになっていることもあるわね。だからここにリストアップした用語を無理に今全て覚える必要はないわ。そのうち勝手に覚えていくものだから。でも覚えるきっかけになればと思ってリストアップしてみたの。じゃあ一つ一つ見てみましょうか。あら、もうこんな時間。
すみません、私つい流しちゃって。
いいのよ、勉強するのはいいことだわ。それに私も教えることで自分自身の勉強になっているのだし。あ、そうだ、お腹が減ったでしょう。ピザでも取る？
The chief really is different from when she's in the station. She's scary back there like a manager, but when she's in her room, she's so nice and caring like an older sister.
どれがいい？
She hands me a flyer for a pizza delivery. I take it without thinking and steal a glance at the chief's face.
なんでもいいわよ。頑張ったご褒美だと思って好きなものを注文しなさい。
The chief is all smiles. I don't want to turn her down, and Sully's such a rare smile, so...
じゃあトロピカルのやつを。
了解。
主任さん、シナモンパウダーとオリーブオイルってありますか？
あ、シナモン？確かあったはずだけど。さあ、ピザが来たわよ。食べましょう。
The cinnamon powder in the chief's room had gone hard and was unusable, and the olive oil had a suspicious scent to it. So I went to my room to get cinnamon powder and olive oil. And then... I sprinkled both of them over the fresh hot pizza.
何をしてるの？
こうすると美味しくなるんですよ。
The chief looks awfully scared. Of course she would. Most people would be surprised when they see this on pizza. But it's good.
あなた、昔からそういうピザにシナモンをかけるなんて食べ方をしていたの？
When I hear that, I rummage through my memories.
よく覚えてませんけど、小学生の頃はシナモンが苦手だったような気がするな。アップルパイとか生八つ橋とか、あれってシナモン系じゃないですか。もうすっごい嫌いだったんですよね。
それなのに今は大好きなの？
そうなんですよ。不思議でしょ？事故に遭った後くらいだったかな。お見舞いでもらったアップルパイがすっごく美味しくって。
I didn't have too many memories of the time around the accident, but I just remember the taste of the apple pie someone gave me after I got out of the hospital. And I really got into cinnamon after that.
中学の時はもうすでにシナモン中毒でした。
そう、シナモン中毒なのね。
Huh. For some reason, she's looking at the pizza with really nostalgic eyes. Is the chief not a fan of cinnamon?
あ、すみません。私盛大にシナモンパウダー振りかけちゃって。
いいのよ。私もシナモンは嫌いじゃないから。
With that, the chief picks up a slice. She's quietly eating away at her pizza. I want to talk to her, but I feel guilty just thinking about disturbing her meal. A strange mood settles in on the room. But the chief sure does love pizza. She's completely absorbed in the task of eating. She looks like the type who would order some high-class food delivered to her door, but you really can't judge a book by its cover. When I see the chief in her private life like this, I have to think that she's kind of a strange figure. At first she got angry at me a lot, so I only thought of her as a terrifying person. But the more I worked with her, the more I saw that she had this awkward diligence about her that made her easy to trust. And I was really surprised the first time I came to her room, too. I had no idea that such an organized, serious worker would be the type who couldn't clean their room, or that she'd be completely fine living in such squalor. She's such a strange person. Then I noticed that she's staring my way. I can feel heat in those eyes, and my cheeks grow red.
なんですか？
ずっと気になっていたのだけれど、あなた昔からその髪型だったの？
Chief, are you the one who gave me the bite? I brushed my hand against the hair done up on my left side.
これ似合ってませんか？
似合っているわよ。だから聞いているの。昔からそのヘアスタイルなのかしらって。それにその髪飾りもあなたに似合っているわ。
The chief is actually curious about my childhood, and she thinks my hair looks nice. My face is gonna flare up.
この髪型にするとすごく落ち着くんですよね。あとこの髪飾りは誰からかは覚えてないけど、誰かからのプレゼントだったような。
I've kept it on me at all times since I was a child, so it's a bit old, but I just can't throw it away.
そう。
Huh? That's it? I thought the conversation was gonna take off a little more.
ピザが冷めてしまうわよ。食べましょう。
あ、はい。
Sorry, Chief.
ピザが冷めてしまうわよ。食べましょう。
The chief really is a strange one.
白恋リセラピー。
Mr. Rukaku's not been well lately. He's been urinating less, and he's been swelling all over. His breathing has been labored, and he'll cough at the smallest exertions, sometimes with phlegm. The chief said it was proof that his heart's functioning had fallen. Mr. Rukaku had electrodes put in his chest, allowing us to view his electrocardiographs 24/7 from the nurse's station.
元気になってくれればいいのに。
Those are my honest feelings, but I also feel that he might not get better. Suddenly, I feel a chill down my spine. That's just the kind of place a hospital is. I thought I knew, but when I encounter it in reality, well, it's scary.
もう出た？
Huh? Voices from the bathroom?
そろそろ？
That's Miss Sakai, right?
もう帰る？まだ帰らない？
Whose voice is that? It's a kid's voice, right?
大丈夫。出てくるまで帰らないから安心していいよ。
本当？あ、でももう終わったよ。
Come to think of it, a girl got admitted to the hospital yesterday. She got really sick after coming down with a fever, and the examination revealed she was diabetic. Whispers in the nurse's station said she had lost the use of her pancreas after that fever. Maybe that's the girl they're talking about? Ah, I knew it. It's Sakushi, the girl admitted for diabetes. She's the second admission for diabetes I've experienced after Kohaku. Kohaku regained consciousness after being put in room 301, and now she's much healthier and back in room 306. Kids sure do get better fast. And I've got to make sure I teach Sakushi carefully about diabetes so that she doesn't end up where Kohaku did.
ダメでしょ。使った後は次の人のことを考えてきれいにしなくちゃ。
ごめんなさい。
ちゃんとごめんなさいが言えるなんていい子ね。さあ、手を洗いましょう。
It's kind of heartwarming to see. Sakushi's mother was worried about her going to the bathroom by herself, but it looks like there's nothing to fret about. Wait, Sakushi might have asked Miss Sakai to come with her.
ハンカチ持ってる？
あ、忘れちゃった。
じゃあ、はい、どうぞ。私のを使って。
ありがとうお姉ちゃん。今度は私がハンカチ貸してあげるね。
そうね。私が忘れちゃったらあなたのハンカチを貸してもらうね。あ、でも私はハンカチ忘れないよ。もう大人だからね。
そっか。じゃあもし忘れちゃったらこっそり貸してあげるね。
I'm really surprised that Miss Sakai can sound so gentle.
そうね。他の人に知られちゃうと恥ずかしいから秘密にしててね。
私たち二人だけの秘密ね。
I wonder if she likes kids. Things would be so much better if she showed off her nice side more. I bet Miss Sakai has a lot of wonderful sides to her that I just don't know about.
もったいないな。
I find myself wanting to listen to their conversation more, but I have to report on Mr. Rikaku's vitals. What should I do? It probably won't take too much time to listen in on them, but it would be awkward if they found me. Mr. Rikaku's report being a little late probably won't matter much, but the part-time nurse in charge of him might be waiting on my report. Leave. Well, I am on the job, and listening in on patients' private conversations out of curiosity probably isn't part of my nursing duties. Let me get back to the nurse's station.
戻りました。
I'd gone to address an injection extraction call and got chewed out because the bleeding region hurt, even though I didn't set the needle in the first place. Still, I guess that means the patients recognize me as a bona fide member of the staff. Think positive thoughts. Positive thoughts. Things would be so easy if I could.
どうしたんですか？そんなため息。
If anything, I feel I should be the one sighing, but I suppose being a veteran like Yamanochi comes with its own headaches.
なあ、あんたは何のために看護師やってる？看護師って患者のために看護するんがほんまの仕事やんな。病院やドクターのためにおるんとちゃうやんな。
Don't ask the newbie. How am I supposed to know?
そうですね。そうだと思います。学校で覚えさせられたナイチンゲール戦士でもそう言ってた覚えがあります。
ナイチンゲール精子。なあ、その部分暗唱してみ。
Reciting? I crammed it for the capping ceremony. I don't remember the first verse anymore.
すみません、覚えてません。
Senpai looks up from her report and extends a helping hand.
もう最後の一文でしょ。我は心より意志を助け、我が手に託されたる人々の幸のために身を捧げんって。
who's committed to my care.
ああ、それそれ。
My smile doesn't help dispel the exasperation on Yamanouchi and Senpai's faces. Ouch.
うちらはドクターを助けはするけど立場は同じや。命令される筋合いもなければ服従する義務もない。
はあ、そうですね。
うちら看護師はドクターの治療方針には従うけど、そのドクターの立てる治療方針かて患者の意見が第一と違うんかい。
What's gotten into Yamanouchi? Is she getting worked up over this?
山之内さん、どうかしたんですか？
龍角さんのご家族が延命治療をしろって言ってきたのよ。
あれ？龍角さんご本人はこれ以上は何もするなって言ってませんでしたっけ？
I'm dead sure that Mr. Kaku signed off on a DNR forbidding attempts to resuscitate him. His son agreed to it too. You're dead sure.
そうなんだけどね。最終的に患者さん本人の意思と家族の意思、どっちを尊重するか決めるのはドクターだから。
Senpai is visibly torn on the issue. No wonder Yamanouchi is raining thunder. Yamanouchi is close to Mr. Rukaku, so she can't consent to a treatment policy that disrespects his wishes.
もうアホらしなってきた。患者本人の意思が尊重されへん医療に何の意味があるっちゅうね。
I never guessed from her quirks that she'd be so committed to her patients. I know what kind of nurse I want to be now. No, what kind of nurse I have to be. The chief has been sighing all morning. I wonder what's up. She stops in mid-movement when she reaches for the nurse call. The flashing light is room 312. It's Mr. Rukaku.
私行きましょうか。
When the surprised chief turns around to face me, I pick up the nurse call. I mean, I can't leave a patient waiting.
はい、どうされました？
いいから来てくれかの。
わかりました。伺いますね。
沢井さん。
なんだかよくわからないけど、龍角さん来てくれって言ってるので、私行ってきますね。
行
ってきます。失礼します。お呼びですか？
He's not, gonna kill himself, is he?
おお、待っておった。なんじゃ、新入りか。
Ugh. What's up with that attitude?
もう何ですか？私じゃダメだってことですか？せっかく来たのに。
I decide to say that a bit jokingly. Mr. Rukaku gets really angry if you don't do things properly, but if you do things properly, he becomes very forgiving. He's a really nice old man when you get used to him. But now...
別にあんたでもじゃが
What? His breathing is labored as he speaks. He's clearly gotten worse. Since I'm not in charge of him, I kept myself from looking at his reports or medical records, but if I'm going to take care of Mr. Rukaku even a little bit, I should at least take a look at those logs.
やっぱり最高の適任者は初見さんなんじゃ。
He's coughing too. What should I do? Should I rub his back?
主任さんは詰め所で仕事があって、だから私が代わりに。
そうじゃろうな。初見さんは有能じゃからな。
Mr. Rukaku, he's really fighting to get the words out. He doesn't have to push himself either.
わしの息子には娘がおっての、その娘がのこれまたどうしようもない娘なんじゃ。
龍角さん、苦しいなら喋らないで。
I quickly moved to rub his back. I just want to soothe him a little bit if I can.
喋らせてくれんか。死んだらもう喋れなくなるからの。
He won't be able to talk if he dies? I freeze up when I hear that.
龍角さん、
孫娘は研究バカで人間というものに興味がないんじゃ。己も人間のくせにの。
He painfully works out his words with countless pauses. I quietly listen to what he says.
人間味あふれる初見さんじゃったら、あのバカ娘に人のぬくもりを教えてくれるやもし。あの孫娘を再教育してバカ娘を盛り立ててくれそうじゃ。
盛り立てて？
うちのグループの次期総帥の秘書兼配偶者に初見さんなら。
Wife? And secretary?
人のプライバシーをペラペラ話さないでください。
Huh?
主任さん。
Before I know it, the chief is standing behind me. I hadn't noticed her at all.
おお、初見さんかい。よう来てくださったの。
私は困っている部下を助けに来たんです。あなたの孫娘との政略結婚を OK するつもりで来たわけではありません。
つれないの。あんたの冷たさにわしゃ心臓が止まりそうじゃ。
それとこれとは話が別です。
女同士の結婚を気にしとるのか。その気持ちはわしもわからんでもないが、わしの孫娘なら大丈夫。
龍角さん。
Mr. Rukaku starts coughing hard. I scramble to tap on his back. I rhythmically tap at his back, trying to help him expunge his phlegm a little easier.
主任さん、興奮させてどうするんですか？
Mr. Rukaku's in so much pain and she's being so cold.
そういう問題ではないのです。私には心に決めた相手がすでにいると申し上げました。
The chief's revelation renders me speechless. She's engaged?
私はまだまだ若輩者で看護の道を極めるのに精一杯なんです。恋なんてしている暇はありません。
潤いがないの。
潤いなんていりません。恋も愛も私には不要です。それが私の選んだ人生ですから。私の恋人は仕事です。
She says it without any hesitation. That was kinda cool. But it's a little sad to say that she doesn't need love. Then I notice that the chief's already behind me.
では失礼いたします。秘書の方からもうすぐいらっしゃると連絡がありましたよ。
The chief gives me a push on the back, trying to take her out of the room with me.
沢井さんと言ったかの。
はい。
I think that was supposed to say take me out with her, but
あんたにさすってもらって 少し楽になった。付き合わせて悪かった。あんたのその優しさなくさんように頑張るんじゃぞ。
His breaths sound painful, but he smiles all the same. I almost feel like I'm going to cry. What a nice old man. Worried about the granddaughter he would leave behind, he fought through the pain to make his offer to the chief, and to tell a newbie like me how he feels.
驚いたでしょ。
はい、驚きました。
I wipe my tears and look up at the chief. I hadn't imagined that I'd hear a marriage offered to her when I stepped into Mr. Kaku's room.
半年ほど前だったかしら。看護部長からの呼び出しで食事会に行ったの。そこにね、龍角さんの孫娘がいたのよ。
それって
職業人として魅力的な女性だったわ。けれど親友以上にはなれそうもない。それが仕組まれた食事会の感想よ。
The chief chuckles.
沢井さんが私の立場だったらどうする？龍角さんはこの病院のスポンサーでもある人よ。そんな人の身内とお見合いを設定され、参加は院長と看護部長からの命令だった。
The director of both the hospital and the nursing department ordered me to meet with a relative of his, specifically with the intent for us to marry.
あなただったらどうする？
I gasped at her question. For me right now, it's an unimaginable situation, but I can't guarantee something like it won't happen in the future, so
私だったら
I think a little before stating my answer. Might get pressured.
きっと押し切られてそのまま結婚しちゃいそうです。
I do fold pretty easily, that's just my personality. So I wouldn't be able to refuse something like that.
でも悪いことばかりじゃなさそうですよね。
例えば？
龍角さんってお金持ちじゃないですか。開き直って玉の腰を気取るのもいいかも。
忘れてちょうだい。
はい。
あなたに聞いた私がバカだったわ。
Hey!
さあ、無駄話はこの辺にして、勤務時間はまだ終わっていないわよ。
She lightly pats me on the shoulder, basically ending the conversation.
はい。
I'm doing my rounds in the outpatient ward at the chief's orders. She also acknowledged Senpai's efforts, releasing her from free duties and getting her room back. And since Senpai is back on the field, I can do errands around the hospital without worrying. Miss Sakai is the only patient I'm in charge of, so for all of my other duties, I've got to help out around the hospital. I want people to appreciate me being in the ward, even just a little. There have been plenty of orders in the examination room, so the technicians look really tired. Good job, all of you. I mean, the surgery data I hadn't gotten yet could barely fit in its holder, and I'm holding an immense amount of data from the internal medicine ward. And when I get back to the ward, I'm going to have to split these up by patient and post them onto their medical records. Thinking about that is a little demoralizing. If Senpai was still on free duty, we could have split this up, too. Enough of that. Processing exam data is a really important job, and I can't be picking and choosing my jobs. And besides, Senpai getting busy with taking care of her patients suits her a lot more. I shake my head and get back into work mode.
さてと、早く病棟に戻らなきゃ。
When I start heading for the stairs, I notice a man there staring right at me. Go away! He's a patient, right? Or is he a patient's family member? Is it just me, or is he glaring at me? This is kind of scary.
どうも。
失礼。
He bows his head and hurries off. I see a tense look on his face right before he leaves. Was he watching me? Come to think of it, I think this has happened before. Am I just imagining this? Yeah, I'm thinking way too much about this. I've only been working for 2 months here. There's no way there'd be patients or their family that would know my face outside the ward. So why was that person staring at me, and why did he run away when he saw I noticed him? Am I just reading too much into this? No way. My intuition is telling me no. My intuition's telling me that he was watching me and ran off when he got noticed. I say out loud that I'm scared, and feeling like the fear is going to consume me, I quietly go up the stairs.
白衣性恋愛症候群リセラピー。
It's Sunday! The work is always calm, and I can spend more time with the patients, so I enjoy Sundays. It's nice to relax sometimes.
よし、今日も頑張って仕事するぞ。
Of course, not many patients hang around on Sundays. There are always so many people around, so it kind of feels strange to have the hospital so empty. It's actually a pretty long walk up to the 3rd floor. But the elevators are for patients. Employees have to use the stairs. Wait, what's with all that racket?
おはようございま。ごめん、ちょっとどいて。
I quickly jump out of the way. One of the night shift nurses rushes in, rummages through the shelves, grabs an oxygen mask, and runs out again. I wonder what happened.
ああ、沢井さん来たのね。
おはようございます、主任さん。なんだかバタバタしてますね。
おはようございます。先週外科に転科した主席さんが手術不適応で戻ってきたのよ。
Mr. Who?
日勤も来てないような早朝にですか？
本当は明日のお昼に戻ってくる予定だったんだけれど、今外科って満床でね。
満床。
ベッドの空きがないことね。それなのに今日の明け方、外科で緊急入院があって一人出さざるを得なくなったのよ。
なるほど。それでこんな早朝に戻ってきたんですか。
しかも状態はすこぶる悪化してるわ。一時期の回復が嘘のようよ。
Mr. Shuseki suffers from HCC, or hepatocellular carcinoma. When he first came in, he was being treated in internal because his cancer had grown too large and his condition was too poor to be operated on. But the treatment was working. His liver was getting better and the cancer cells were dropping, so he was moved to surgery last week. Mr. Shuseki was so happy because it meant he'd be relinquished from such a terrible affliction like cancer.
まだ時間外だけど、夜勤さんだけじゃちょっと手が足りないみたいだから、あなたも手伝ってあげて。
はい、主席さんの部屋は？
以前と同じ303よ。先に来た藤沢さんも手伝ってくれてるわ。
はい、行ってきます。ああ、沢井、おはよう。渚先輩、おはようございます。主席さんの入院のヘルプをお願いされたんですけど。
ごめん、指示は夜勤さんに聞いてくれる？
Senpai hurries into the nurse's station and starts talking to the chief about something. The overnighters, those are the two part-timers, right?
おはようございます。ヘルプに来ました。ありがとう。さっき吐いてたから口の中吸ってあげて。
I'm sorry? Suck? Oh, she wants me to apply the suction machine.
はい。主席さん、口の中に残っているものを吸引しますね。
I grab the tube and flick the switch on. When I look down at him, I nearly faint. His face is an impossible yellowish clay color.
吸引チューブ入れすぎないで。また吐くわよ。
Eek. Carefully adhering to her advice, I delicately and thoroughly move the tube through Mr. Shiseki's mouth. Because of all this, Mr. Shiseki's normal care starts an hour later than usual. The CCW already changed all the diapers. I can't express how thankful for that I am. You know, things are not very calm at all for a Sunday.
緊急入院お疲れ様でした。夜勤さん、ゆっくり休んでください。長勤簿の記入忘れないでくださいね。
長勤簿？
I'm confused. I don't usually hear that word. I give the chief a puzzled look.
超過勤務命令簿のことよ。時間外勤務。つまり残業はこれで管理をするの。
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your explanation.
というわけで、日勤の皆さん、今日は一日バタバタしているかもしれないけれど、夕方まで頑張って乗り切りましょう。今日も一日よろしくお願いします。お疲れ様でした。
やっと帰れるわ。
帰りに牛丼でも食べてかない？
あ、それいいわね。
The overnighters stretch and smile at each other. Just then, I make eye contact with one of them.
あ、沢井さん、先に謝っておくわね。ごめん。
What?
何がですか？
点滴思いっきり遅れちゃったでしょ。めんどくさい患者さんの。
Annoying patient of mine. Miss Sakai's IV. She's gonna give me an earful this time. Miss Sakai's IV is supposed to be switched out every 6 hours, so the day shift is supposed to change it at 10 and 16 o'clock, which is 4 o'clock. It's 10:30 right now. Shoot. Miss Sakai is probably really mad.
どうぞ。失礼します。点滴遅くなってごめんなさい。
いえ、遅くなりそうだと分かってたので、点滴は絞っておきました。
Wow, leave it to Miss Sakai. She's still just a student, but her adaptability is as good as some professionals.
それより何かあったんですか？病棟が騒がしかったようですが。
Can I really tell a patient about this? If it doesn't concern another patient's privacy, I guess it's okay.
ちょっとね、緊急入院があって。
緊急入院？救急車のサイレンの音は聞こえなかったと思いますが。
外部の人の入院じゃなくて、外科に行った人が内科に戻ってきただけで。
Miss Sakai looks displeased.
もしかして、それって主席さん？
どうして知ってるの？
先週、屋上で少しお話ししたんです。肝機能が良くなって手術適用になったから外科に転科するんだって喜んでらした。
She looks so disappointed.
残念だよね。
Miss Sakai is so kind. I should keep my mouth shut about how bad Mr. Shiseki's condition is. I switch out the IV bottle and engage the drip.
じゃあ何かあったらナースコールしてね。
Miss Sakai is so upset about Mr. Shiseki. Not wanting to disturb her any further, I leave her room. It's just before lunch.
はいどうされました？
救急カート持ってきて。主席さん吐血した。
I could feel the blood drain from my own face. Vomiting blood? An emergency cart?
何をしているの沢井さん。私と一緒にいらっしゃい。
The chief grabs my arm and drags me in front of the cart.
救急カートはこれ。これを押して先に303に行っていて。
はい。
あなたはドクターコールお願い。私はご家族に電話するから。
わかりました。
The chief and the part-timer immediately get on phones in the nurse's station. I take the thing called an emergency cart down to room 303. Oh, what should I do?
渚先輩、救急カート持ってきました。
Senpai is covered in blood as she tries to suck up the excess blood with the suction tube. Blood. All the blood.
ありがとう沢井。
Then Senpai turns back to Mr. Shiseki. What should I do? What can I even do? The air is thick with the rusty smell of blood and the tension of a life or death situation. The blood is terrifying. I shouldn't think that, but my legs are like jelly. What should I do? What can I do? I have no idea. I'm so useless. The chief suddenly runs up to us.
こういう時はまずは気道確保よ。気道閉塞物を取り除いたら次は肺に空気を送り込まないと。
Having the chief around makes me feel so much better. Now that I'm feeling a little better, my legs seem to have stopped shaking for the moment.
蘇生バッグ使って口元にマスクを当ててバッグを押して送気するの。
はい。
次からお願いね。今は血圧を測ってそれならできるわね。
はい、できます。
I nod to her and take the speedometer from the cart.
主席さん、わかりますか？しっかりしてください。
Senpai yells out to the unconscious patient. My legs have stopped shaking, but being caught up in the tenseness of the situation has my hands shaking uncontrollably. But I don't have time to say my little spell. Even without it, I have to be able to get the job done. There's nothing else I can do. I can do something as easy as taking his blood pressure without my little spell, right? I've taken blood pressure hundreds of times, ever since I first became a student, after all.
主席さん、血圧測りますね。
I wrapped the manchet around his arm and put the stethoscope up to his skin. Squeeze the ball to apply pressure. Listen to the blood flowing through his veins. Wait, I can't hear anything.
藤沢さん、沢井さんが血圧測定してるから少し静かに。
はい、すみません。
Apply some more pressure. No good, I still can't hear anything. Can't I even measure blood pressure correctly? One of the part-time nurses' voices comes through the nurse call on the bed, apparently. I can't hear the voice coming from the nurse call at all. I must be too shaken up.
いるわよ。ドクターはなんて。
The chief talks through the nurse call to the part-timer.
了解。沢井さん、ストレッチャー持ってきて。
はい。
I put the stethoscope down and run out into the hall to get a stretcher.
1、2、3で移動するわよ。1、2、3。
The three of us heft Mr. Shiseki up into the stretcher. We flip the blood-covered blanket over so no one can see the blood and throw it over Mr. Shiseki to keep him warm.
オペ室は2階よ。藤沢さん、先に行ってエレベーター呼んできてくれる？わかりました。
Senpai runs off in her blood-stained uniform. When we roll the stretcher out into the hallway, patients from other rooms are gathered by the doorways. This could be bad.
他の患者さんには後で説明するから、今は搬送に集中しなさい。
I want to help, even if just a little. My attempt to take the patient's blood pressure failed, so I can at least help transport him. I can't let myself be a hindrance any longer. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot Miss Sakai looking pale as a ghost. Oh god. She crumbles to the floor right then and there.
沢井さん、あなたは酒井さんをお願い。
でも搬送は。
藤沢さんがいるから大丈夫よ。酒井さんのケアをしてあげて。
わかりました。
I switch places with Senpai and run over to Miss Sakai. After laying her down in the bed, I take her blood pressure.
102の64。血圧いつもより少し下がってるね。
I suddenly remember something about Mr. Shiseki. I realized that maybe I couldn't measure his blood pressure because it was so low.
あの人どうなるの？
She asks me, her lips blue and her cheeks white. I have to tell her something. There has to be something I can say to ease Miss Sakai's worry.
大丈夫だよ。主任さんも渚先輩もいるし、先生もいるから。
でも医学は万能じゃないのよ。人はいずれ死ぬんだから。
死ぬなんてそんなこと言わないで。
That's the last thing I want to hear. I realize how cold I'm being all of a sudden, but Miss Sakai is in such a state of shock that she isn't listening to anything I say.
私も死ぬのよ。出血が止まらずにあんな風に大量の血の中で死ぬの。
She's shaking uncontrollably.
そんなこと考えちゃダメ。
She pushes away my arms when I try to give her a hug. I ignore her as she shakes her head and wraps my arms around her anyway. I don't care if she doesn't want me to.
そんなこと考えちゃダメよ。酒井さんは生きてるんだよ。今は生きることを考えようよ。
This time, I really get a grip around her and squeeze firmly.
酒井さんは今生きてる。そうでしょ？
How long did we sit there like that? After a while, Miss Sakai starts to squirm.
苦しいんですけど。
I quickly back off of her. She's not mad, is she? I meekly look at her and see her cheeks are a slight pink, but she won't look at me.
生きることだけ考えようか。あなたにしてはいいこと言うんですね。
She's trying to be tough.
あなたなんかに元気づけられるなんて屈辱だ。
And there's her sauciness, too. However, seeing that she's back to her normal self makes me a little happy.
私の言葉で酒井さんが元気になってくれたなら嬉しい。
患者を落ち着かせるのも看護師の仕事でしょ。できて当たり前のことを喜ばないでください。
I go back to the nurse's station, and after a while, Senpai comes back with in a fresh uniform. Then the chief finally gets back. With Mr. Shiseki, who has a white cloth draped over his face.
主席さん、残念だったね。
はい。
That yellow face of his. I talked to him so many times when he was better, but all I can remember is that sickly yellow face of his I saw this morning. The chief and a part-timer took care of the final cleanup, you know, after the patient passed. Then Mr. Shuseki's family took him away.
元気出して。沢井が落ち込んでても仕方がないよ。
落ち込んでるわけじゃないです。ただ、あんまり急だったから。
No, I'm not down in the dumps. Miss Sakai said herself, people end up dying anyway. It was just all so sudden that my emotions can't keep up.
生きることだけ考えようか。あなたにしてはいいこと言うんですね。
What I said then were my words, but I had been told something similar in the past. Deep down in my memory, in all the pain, struggle, and darkness, someone told me to live. Living is hard, scary, and trying. But there are so many things that make you appreciate life. I know I'm glad to be alive. That's why I want to fight the fear of death and be by Miss Sakai's side to help her. What exactly can I do for her, though?
沢井、大丈夫？
Senpai looks into my eyes, her voice filled with worry. I shouldn't make Senpai worry like that.
大丈夫です。こんな顔してちゃ患者さんにも心配かけちゃいますよね。
しょうがないよ。初めてのステルベンだったんでしょ。
ステルベン？
患者死亡のこと。心の準備ができてないとショックだよね。でもそのうち慣れるから。
はい。
Will I ever get used to something like this? It's not something I really want to get used to. This afternoon is relatively calm. After all the fuss with Mr. Shiseki this morning, I feel like I have nothing to do at all. That was all my work for the day.
沢井さん、手が空いたの？
あ、はい。
そうね。特に急ぎの仕事もないし、病棟回って患者さんとコミュニケーションでも取ってきたらどうかしら？
え、コミュニケーション？
看護の基礎でしょ？
え、あ、そうですけど。
何かあれば呼ぶから、それまでは患者さんのベッドサイドに行ってらっしゃい。
はい。
本当はな、こういう時間がとても大事なのよ。でも日々の仕事に追われると医療行為以外で患者さんと触れ合う時間なんて取れないでしょ。
そうですね。
何気ない会話に情報がたくさん詰まっているの。一つ一つ聞き取っていくことできっとあなたの勉強になると思うわ。
はい、わかりました。
I return the medical records I was reading back to the shelf and leave the nurse's station. Communication with the patients. The first person I think of is Miss Sakai. Miss Sakai is the sole patient I'm overseeing. I feel like she'd just tell me I'm being annoying if I go see her for no reason. It'd really be for the best if I could communicate well with patients like Miss Sakai who barely ever want to talk to me. I don't know how confident I feel about that, though. What about Ami or Sakushi? Actually, I heard Kohaku has been cleared to leave the hospital again. After that family meeting, she should be able to control her blood sugar no problem. The chief is coming in to help, so everything should be fine.
はい、私の勝ち。
My feet stop when I hear an excited voice.
今のずりよ。
It sounds like some kids. While one patient dies in a room, on the other end of the ward there are kids laughing and playing games. Isn't it so strange? I should see what's going on in room 306.
なんと言われようとこっちはこっちだわ。いい加減認めなさいよ。
生意気な女だな。
Hiro and Tsukushi seem to be fighting about something. I should probably stop them, right? As I watch them with a big smile, Ami suddenly notices me.
あ、カオリンさん。
Everyone's eyes turn to me and my heart skips a beat.
カオリンさんも参加していきませんか？トランプです。ババ抜きですけど、どうですか？
ババ抜きなんだから看護婦さん混じれないじゃん。
どうして？
だってババじゃん。看護婦さん俺たちより年寄りだし。
もうヒロくん、そんなこと言っちゃダメでしょ。
Ami's follow-up doesn't make me feel that much better.
じゃあカード切るよ。次はカオリンさんも入って5人ね。
Ami shuffles up the cards with ease, then deals them out. We all get our cards, take out the pairs we already have.
主任さんだ。
Kohaku exclaims happily, so I turn around and look at the door.
あ、仕事ですか？
I jump up to my feet, but Chief Hatsumi slowly shakes her head.
いいえ、そうではないの。私もフラフラしていただけ。気にしないで続けて。
She said she was just walking around, but it's hard to imagine a workaholic like Chief Hatsumi would walk around aimlessly. So she must have come to check on me and the patients, right?
主任さん、私主任さんと一緒にやる。ね、いいよね、やろうよ。
え？
私ね、トランプちょっと苦手なの。だからね、主任さん、助けて。
Kohaku turns to the chief and holds out her cards. That's no fair. Using your innocent youth as a shield and getting adults to help you? It seems I've taken Kohaku lightly.
仕方がないわね。
The chief sits down on Ami's bed, nice and close to Kohaku.
トランプなんて何年ぶりかしら。
ほら早く引けよババ。
もう、ババババ言わないでよ。と。
Hiro spreads his cards like a fan, so I take one.
引っかかった。やっぱババはババに行くんだよ。
I look down and see the profile of a confidently smiling Joker. I shuffle it in with my other cards and turn to the chief, holding them out for her to choose from.
琥珀ちゃん、どれにする？
どれでもいい。主任さんが決めて。
そう？じゃあ、これ。
She reaches out and plucks a card from my hand. All I can do is grin.
やだ、主任さん、ババ引いちゃったよ。
そりゃあ主任さんは看護婦さんの応募しで一番のバブル。
Ami jumps over and clamps her hand over Hiro's mouth. Oh, the chief is smiling, but her eyes are devoid of any humor. That look on her face is terrifying.
さあ、主任さん、次は私が引く番ですよね。
Ami is so conscientious. She takes a card from the chief's hand.
やだ、ジョーカー来ちゃった。
This is gonna go on forever. She pulled that one on purpose, didn't she? Kohaku doubled over with laughter. Well, I guess everything worked out.
よーし勝負だ浅田亜美。
Why would Hiro say her full name now of all times?
望むところよ。
Ami accepts his challenge readily. They glare at each other. The room is so tense.
フレクション。
Everyone jumps. We turn to the door where we find Yamanochi. She's supposed to start her night shift soon.
いやー、せっかくの緊張の体 対決やったのに水さしてもて悪いな。
She motions for the chief to come over to her.
みんなごめんな。お姉さんたちは仕事があるから抜けるで。これぞまさしくババ抜きやな。
Yamanouchi says with a smile, while the smile on the chief's face begins to twitch.
みんなして年まって言うけれど、私だってまだ若いつもりなのよ。
誰も年まとまでは言うてへんやないですか。
Even someone like the chief cares about her age. That's how the game ends. It's a little disappointing, but I'm sure we'll have another chance to play together like that.
記録はかけたの？
The chief comes out of the break room after discussing something with Yamanouchi. Yamanouchi's still in there, so she's probably going to nap until her night shift starts.
遊んでいただけでも記録って必要なんですか？
当然でしょ。浅田さんが私に気を使っていたこととか、琥珀ちゃんが甘えていたことを書いておかないと。
So basically just write about you.
バイタルサインを残すだけが記録じゃないの。患者さんの入院生活における全てを書き残すのよ。記録から患者さんの人となりが見えてくるように。
We have to be able to see the patient's character in the reports.
なるほど。
Taking her advice to heart, I take out some blank report sheets to start my drafts of them. The chief goes to the doctor's desk as usual.
楽しかったわね。
I nod as I write my notes, even though the chief doesn't seem to be talking to anyone in particular.
私も楽しかったんですけど、みんなすごく楽しそうでした。
浅田さんにはまた気を使わせてしまったわね。
The chief sighs.
主席さんのこと他の子が見ないように部屋から出ないよう集めていてくれてたのよ。優しい子よね。
I had no idea. I was so worried about Mr. Shuseki, and after Miss Sakai fainted, I couldn't think about anything else. But there Ami was, working behind the scenes to make sure the other kids weren't traumatized by all of this. I really have to broaden my perspective. I'll do my best.
白衣性恋愛症候群リセラピー
And with that, I think it's a good place to stop. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're enjoying it. It's been very tense. Deaths, all that stuff. But it looks like we're nearing the end. So maybe next time will be like the final normal ending for Nagisa, and then I can move on to the other endings. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!